So guys, welcome to a new episode of Unplug with Stonore. So we may have Bolu here. Yeah. So this is Bolu's second episode and I'm Bolu will be talking about facts, truths that the modern man does not want to hear, the truths that make you strong, the truth to avoid weakness basically, bro. So brothers, stay plugged in. Let's discuss the harsh truth of life.
Yeah.
So Bolu, what do we have today?
Yeah, because me, I'm in my 20s, yeah.
Alright.
So then I wanted to ask, like, what do you think was me? I already think I already know your answer.
Go ahead.
But then, what do you think a man in his 20s should like focus on? What should be hitting on?
Before I answer that question, let's first of all talk about the fact that a guy in his 20s should remove that idea of enjoying your 20s.
Mm-hmm.
It's complete BS. Because a guy in his 20s is supposed to be building the foundation for his life. Before his 20s, people were making choices for him. They told him what to wear, what to say, when to sit. Basically, almost everything that he did before his 20s was not done by him. Was mostly done by his parents or society at large, right? So if he wants to be the person who controls his life, by 20s, he's supposed to start building the foundation for his life. That is why most guys in their 20s are not taken serious by women, right? So a guy in his 20s needs to build this foundation. And 3 core foundations of a man. Fitness, right? Fitness, to show that you have healthy genes and you take yourself serious. Finances, to show that you can provide for yourself and for your family if you want to start one. And confidence, because without any of these 3 things, bro, you're fucked as a man. You're fucked in your 30s, 40s, or 50s if you never fix these things in your 20s.
Yeah, because now that you talked about the suffering in your 20s, I don't want people to misconstrue this thing and think that it's about your age, because it's not. I don't think it's about age. I think it's about your orientation.
Okay. So
it's like,
are you saying you can do it before your 20s?
Yeah, you can do it before your 20s. So you can find a 20-year-old man that's that you can compare him to a 28-year-old. You can compare him to a 27-year-old. And you still see the same.
I agree with you. Personally, I believe that the moment you can get into university, the moment you are done with your high school, because up until your high school, you are most likely told what to do. Even to your senior high school, past that, I believe that is where you should start. You should start taking your own life serious. And that's why I say that it's very important that from a very young age, guys should get close to older men, either in form of mentors or fathers. So yes, I believe that it may not be 20s exactly.
Yeah.
But my point is, I'm saying by your 20s at least, you should be in some form of higher institution. That's why it's just grouped as 20s. But 17, 18, is still a good deal.
Yeah, because I was now thinking that, a lot of people think that. Yeah, people believe this lie that change comes with time. That time brings about change. That just wait it out long enough, that everything will be better in time. I feel like it's complete rubbish, because
that's a fool's idea.
I feel like it's complete rubbish, because if I leave my phone here on this table, with time is always going to remain on the table.
Yeah.
So you telling me that time is going to change something
what makes it worse? The battery is going to die.
The battery is
So in some way, when guys have that idea that with time things will get better without action, it shows that one, you're very stupid, and it shows that you're someone who's putting his life in the hands of fate. You know what? It will be easier for me at some point. No, nothing's going to change unless you actually change. Unless you say, you know what? Fuck it, I need to work on myself. I need to get something done. Until then, nothing's going to work. So yes, that idea that with time things will change, I feel like it lacks context. It lacks context because with time things will change if you are working towards the change.
Yeah,
I think that is the context. So I think there are a lot of things that we say, a lot of advice that we say, that intentionally they've cut off some parts of the statement. A typical example is a jack of all trades, master of none. Everybody stops there.
Yeah.
But they don't forget that there's a part attached to it.
But a master of
but he's better.
One is better than.
But he's better than a master of one. And so I feel like most guys, and I feel like there are a lot of lies guys need to get rid of in their 20s. The lie of, I need to enjoy my 20s. No, prof, that statement will lead you to wreck, will lead you to a life of regret. Oh, I can't be young again. And this is a harsh truth, right? In your 20s, this is the most healthy way you're ever going to be. Your 20s, without any effort to improve your health, this will be your most healthiest frame. This is the period where you have the most energy. This is the period where your health, your energy, your mental alertness is at its peak. Your 30s, you can still have it, but by your 40s, there's a slight wobble. This is if you don't do anything actively in your life to maintain it, right? Which most guys aren't doing anything in their life to maintain it. I tell guys that guys, another lie that I think guys won't believe is because it's mostly lies. Let me see. Which other lies the guys believe in their 20s that's fucking them up? Enjoy your 20s. Have as much sex as possible. So,
see, but I'm going to add, I see sex as a pointless.
No. So wait,
as a pointless thing.
See, that particular statement, to me, there's context.
Mm-hmm.
There's context. I can make that statement because I've had a decent amount of sex.
Yeah.
But the average man who has not had can't make that statement because if he's making it from a perspective of Stone said it is useless.
Yeah.
But and something you should also realize that as a man, if you want to be truly respected, you have to be capable. Right? Even if it comes to violence, even if it comes to women, you have to be capable as a man. That's a life hack. What I mean is, you have to be capable of sex before you have the guts to say it's a meaningless activity. It shouldn't be a thing that should be craved that much, right? Because I think Gen Z men believe this lie that, oh, sex is the thing that you should be doing like 4 times a month, 10 times a month. It's like, bro, calm down. Like, aren't you on your purpose? Like, aren't you having discipline or something that's making you stand out from other men? So I figured that, yep, I can say it because I have been there, right? Mm-hmm. But most guys can't say it. Most guys can't say sex is meaningless. You can say it because you've been there.
Yeah, but then, now that I'm thinking, yeah,
right.
That's what's the alternative?
To what?
To the sex hype. What's the alternative? Like, okay, we can't just say the audience should go and sleep with everybody that you want to.
Come again.
Yeah, so we can't just tell the audience that, oh, everybody go and sleep with all the women you can find, so that you can start saying that, oh, sex is pointless. So then what's the path?
It's like you're saying, what makes you capable of protecting yourself? Because you have what?
Because I've learned how to fight.
You have trained, right?
Trained.
Now the other truth is that you have to experience it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the harsh truth. You have to experience this sex, right? What that means is that go out there, talk to girls. I want to even say that's a very. I want to don't pay for it. Be able to talk a lady into giving it to you at her own will, even though it's not really her will, though. At her own will. If you can do it and experience it, and you cannot be like, okay, I think it's. Because there's no, I don't personally think there's any alternative. Any other thing, you're gaslighting yourself, right? Even though you are speaking from a place of religion, you are most likely gaslighting yourself. So I think that there's no alternative. You have to be capable of doing it. Because even when we are training how to fight, we still spar. Mm-hmm. Because the irony is that even if you train for 10 years, right?
Yeah, there's still always that thing.
Exactly. So people don't realize that. Perfect. Even if you train for 10 years and you never sparred in your life, the first day you spar, you're going to have some level of anxiety. Even if you are sparred for 5 years, if you get into an actual fight where that guy, his job is to take you out, there's still another degree of anxiety. So yes, I'll tell you, there's really no escape routes, right? So for guys have to actually go out there, talk to girls. I mean, we're not even in a world where women now want to be hoes, right? So it's easier for you to talk to them, right? And get it out of the way, right? That's why I know that works. That's why I know that you can prove yourself to be capable.
Well, would I say that? I don't know. I think sex in of itself, it just like corrupts everything, and not in the sense that it's something that is evil, and you shouldn't do it, stay away from it. yeah, you should have control. But what I'm saying is that you meet a girl here, and you guys are talking. You have sex. You have sex before you get into the deeper things, and now everything is just a thing of pretense.
Okay, post not clarity.
Is not even. I'm not able to. Yeah, there's post not clarity as well, but then it's not even that I'm talking about. It's the fact that now, because both of you are so invested, because you've had that sex, whether you like it or not, you've been invested in that person once you've had sex,
To a degree.
So then now that you've had sex, you're kind of attached, and you now become attached to, would I say, the red flags?
What? I disagree. Maybe.
Let me explain.
Go ahead.
So then, a girl and a guy are talking. I see a fine girl. I say, oh, fine girl, for now. We start talking, and I see things in her that I wouldn't tolerate normally. But then, because I'm sexually oriented, and it's because it's a thing of, oh, I want to sleep with you by force, I then sleep with you as the girl. So, in my mind, in my subconscious, everything is subconscious. I'm talking from a subconscious point of view, right? So then, in my head, it's like, you deserved to sleep with me, even with all the things that I noticed.
So you're saying because of sex, a lot of guys reduce their standards?
Yes. Because of that, a lot of girls, guys reduce their standards. So it's like, so then I just see the person as worthy, even though they've done certain things that disagree.
Isn't that not what we discussed here? We speak about men not being weak. Isn't that a weakness?
What exactly?
That is, you're ignoring red flag for the sake of sex. It's weakness.
Yeah.
It's weakness, because a guy with a very strong mentality, right? If it is just sex you want, you can get it and move out of the window. But at some point, by the time you realize that sex is kind of overrated, you won't really be getting yourself involved in that activity. But until you get there, right? You not to just tolerate, but when you get there, it's easy for you to say, nah, she has some red flags. I can't deal with this. I can't deal with this baggage. I'm out. Because most girls of today have baggages, like serious baggages. So yes, it's mostly a weak man's habit of not being able to control himself. That's why he tolerates bad behavior in women. Yeah. Again, lack of will. You spoke about attachment. As a guy, as early as possible, you have to learn emotional detachment. That makes sense. And people might say, oh, it means that you're having sex without emotions. I'm like, sorry, do you think your father and mother had emotions during sex? Their job was to reproduce. Sex is not an emotional act. It's a reproductive.
No. Well, I don't think it works like that.
No, but I get to a degree there's emotions. To a degree there's emotions. But it was not, from the guy's perspective, right? He's not supposed to be hooked. Right? He's supposed to be emotionally balanced. What that means is, sex happens, but if it doesn't happen, you're good. Right? You are in control of your emotions. You're not thinking, and there's a statement from Yotomo Shashi, right? As a fighter, you probably know it. He says, I can't remember the law, but it's wait until clarity comes. That means that when you're emotional, your judgment is through the roof. It's not accurate. So when you're happy, there's a high chance you will say yes to anything that comes your way. But when you're sad, there's also a high chance you'll say no to anything that comes your way. But the point is, as a man, you're supposed to learn how to regulate your emotions and detach from something that does not favor you. So if you see that this girl doesn't favor you, you detach and walk away from her. Right? I don't know, except maybe you know that she was that good. And I just feel like look at Samson and Delilah. Samson to me is the dumbest gym bro in his life. Has never worked his head. He's the dumbest gym bro.
No, you see, that's the thing. As I say, yeah, he was just playing with the devil. He knew, the thing is that he knew what the problem was. He knew that she was his problem. Because then, it's not the first time, there were attempts. Like, he knew. No, it's not that it was like a sneaky thing that, oh, they came behind the back and
he told her
and they came. If she was there, right in front of him. And no, it's not that it was a common thing. It was like he was saying that I know you are the one. No, I know you are the one afflicting me. I know you are the one afflicting me, but you're not strong enough.
Yeah, but
then that's the thing, because he puts his whole capacity inside his strength, inside his ego and his strength, in the sense that as long as anyone is not stronger than him,
Yeah.
they can't defeat him.
Yeah.
But then she wasn't using strength
Yeah.
to come at him. She
Yeah.
was using strategy. She was
Yeah.
using lust. She was using the other things that he was weak in. So then, as a man, that whatever it is that is open, whatever it is that is a loophole,
Yeah.
be sure to find out that someone will find it for you and exploit it. So then, I think your goal. Correct me if I'm wrong. Your mission in life is to, like, block all the loopholes.
Well, okay, I think I get to what I'll say is, as a man, you should be well-rounded, right? And one thing you should handle in your 20s is covering up your insecurities, right? See, there's no way you can rise up high in life as a man and you have some stupid vulnerability or some stupid insecurities. That makes you look weak and stupid as fuck. So the whole point is this, right? Is fix your insecurities. The one that you know will not help you. A typical example is, look at presidents up there. If presidents were so emotional, right? How many tough choices do you think they can make?
Yeah, you can't be up there.
You can't. So I keep telling guys, whenever guys are like, I want to be able to show my emotions, I'm like, fine, then stay weak. You can't eat your cake and have it, bro. Show me a man that we can say is strong today, who gives into his emotions. Show me one. Now, the guy bring up one man that cried someday. He cried once of 40 years of his life. It's what they call, but show me a guy who is, like, for example, I remember this dude, right? I think his girlfriend broke up with him in, like, uni, and he was crying anyhow. And guys were like, oh, he's expressive. Then, after the whole stuff, right, because I knew a babe that was there consoling that guy. I was like, that guy likes you, don't you date him? He's like, ew. it's like girls love that concept of men being vulnerable. But they don't like it when that guy is close to them. It's like guys and porn.
Yeah.
Guys enjoy watching porn, but they don't want their sisters to act porn.
Yeah.
They don't want their daughters to act porn. So girls too, they like the idea of emotional vulnerability or all this wokeness and stupid new ideas or queer culture, but they don't want their brothers doing it. They don't want their brothers being gay. They don't want their brothers acting here. No, so I've forgotten what word they call them or something. So yeah, it's where are we? Yeah, so that's the point, right? So yeah. So you have to protect all kinds of, like, insecurities in your life, right? If you know this thing is a problem, don't just say, man, I can't help myself. Bro, you have to fix it. If you know that thing matters to you, you have to fix it. If you know that you have a weakness, like you have a weakness of maybe gambling, or you feel like women are a weakness, bro, you have to fix that shit. Because you can't avoid women. If your weakness is your ego, bro, as a man, you are fucking ruined. Because you cannot kill your ego. If you kill your ego, there's no drive to get better. There's no desire to want to get better. So it's more about knowing how it works for you, right? And making sure that it works for you. If it doesn't work for you, find a way to fix it or get rid of it.
Yeah. The thing you said about emotions, that you have to be, the picture you painted was basically an emotionless man. So then I was thinking now that, to be well-rounded, and I think maybe it's because it's your definition of being well-rounded that emotions don't come into.
It's not emotionless. It's not emotionless. I'm looking. Okay, so this is it. This is the perfect description, right? When it comes to guys who are emotional, they are drowning in their emotions. But for a well-rounded guy, he is floating in his emotions. A typical example is something bad happens. He'll be like, okay, he's calm. He knows what to do next. Even if that bad thing happened, he knows what to do next, right? He reads emotions. He understands that his emotions are like indicators, not controllers.
Yeah.
What that means is that for a guy, he sees this. I'm afraid of something, right? I want to start a business, but I'm afraid of this. Okay, he now thinks. This is where his thinking now comes and says, okay, if I'm afraid of this thing, let me tackle this thing. That is where he's using his emotions to his advantage. The emotions are still there, 100%. But he's using his advantage. A typical example now is, as a guy, one reason a guy will never get married to a hoe is because of a high chance of paternity fraud and the fact that the wife has to raise the kids. So now that's a serious fear. So what's the solution? Marry a virgin. If you can't marry a virgin, then groom one. So you get the so you get the whole point of what's funny.
No, it's the good way.
No, I believe everyone knows what they want, right? So if you can't find a virgin, then groom one, right? She's of legal age.
Yeah.
So
legal age.
legal age, yeah, legal age. We don't do legal age, yeah. So yes, that's one point of emotions and not emotions. So you know when to use your emotions, right? But if I deal with a woman, to an extent, you have to know how to regulate your emotions. Perfect. Regulate, not kill them, but regulate them. That's why I said a guy who is emotional, right? He's drowning in his emotions. But for the guy, but the kind of well-rounded men I'm speaking about, they float in their emotions. They are calm in their emotions. They look at it as, okay, what should I do with it? All right, this is how I feel. Okay, so what should I do? All right. So they think and they feel at the same time. So yeah.
You know, some guys now would watch this and think that it's okay. It's okay that when that when something happens to them, that they lash out, because you know that.
No, then you are seeing your.
Yeah, it's testing their emotions,
Yeah.
right? But then they see it as, oh, they are doing something with it now.
So again, shouting sometimes gets the job done. So, but are you shouting because of you are giving it serious thought? This is where it comes in. For example, now I'm trying to get someone to do something, right? I've spoken to him in a very quiet tone, right? Like that, like calm, leadership tone. Sometimes, if I shout, the person will get the message. Does not mean that I enjoy shouting, but I realized that is how this person was probably raised, or to an extent. For most guys, right, there's a reason why shouting and insulting guys works very well to motivate them. Because for a guy, when you shout at him or you crush his ego, it gives him that dark masculine energy for him to get better. It's like, what? Me? Or it's like, oh, you are a bitch. For instance, it's like, shit, I don't want to be a bitch. Okay, what would I do to not be a bitch? So you can see that that's why for guys, if you can't motivate a guy by sweet talking him, it's not going to work. You have to like crush that ego. Crush the ego. So yes, for guys who say that's what they can shout, are you shouting based on the fact that you have thought as shouting is the best way, or are you shouting because you are reacting? Those are two separate things entirely. That's where emotional control comes in, where you have thought about it. You know what? Fuck it, let me shout at this guy. Versus emotional control, where like, emotional reaction, where like, oh, this guy did this thing, let me just shout back at him. So there's a very big difference. Yeah.
Yeah, so where would you say emotional control comes in with the picture of loss? Yeah.
There is wait, come again. What would I say? Emotional control comes in the picture
in the picture of loss. Because then you can, I feel like you can apply emotional control to loss, because loss is an abounding feeling. Would I say it's a feeling? It's an abounding feeling that's.
You're most likely lustful because you don't control your emotions. So they go hand in hand. So when you're lustful, and by the way, guys, lustful makes you ugly as fuck. So when you're lustful, it shows that you lack self-control, right? You lack self-control. If you lack self-control, there's no way you can have emotional control without self-control. So I would say lust is just a sign that, bro, you're not in control of yourself, right? So guys, that's even the thing you have to deal with in your 20s, right? Lust is something you have to deal with in your 20s. So yeah, that's it. Lots of guys don't have emotional control. What else?
And also then, it's still on this last topic.
Oh, go ahead.
So then, like, what would you, because I'm looking for the solution, because people think, because people think that, because then there are people there that they just have this idea that they know they are lustful, right? But then they don't know any other way.
Okay.
Because there's been programming, there's been years of misinformation, there's been years of miseducation, there's been years of being used to that pattern of behavior. They've seen their fathers do it, they've seen their cousins do it, they've seen that's what they were kicked into.
Yeah.
So then what's the way out?
What did they see their father do? Their father lost.
Yeah.
They see their father lost.
Yeah, there are people that see their father lustful. So even the way they talk about women.
So what exactly is the question?
So then, what's the way forward
for lust? Yeah. So your question really is, how does the guy overcome lust?
Yeah.
Is before
the guy that knows that he's lustful, though.
Okay, so that means, because to be very frank, no guy can overcome lust if he's not aware that he's currently lustful. Okay. So for guys to overcome lust, okay, they already understand, all right? I'll say this is one. You have to realize that even if you know you're lustful, you have to realize how much pain lust has caused or the consequences of lust, right? Because the truth is that if you don't know why you have to deal with lust, you keep falling back into it. Right? I quote guys, so I don't know when guys will say, oh, I think I'm lustful. And from my question, I can tell whether he's serious or not. So for a guy who has said that, okay, he's serious and he wants to overcome lust, is one. He has to do what I will call rewiring his mind, right? That means is look at his environment and ask himself, where in his environment it could trigger lustful thoughts, right? Typical example is the gym these days. Let's be honest, most ladies in the gym these days, they are dressed as hoes. They are dressed for the male attention, right? And for most guys who have indiscipline, they are just drowning in it. Like if you go to the gym these days, bruv, and you don't have that sexual discipline, you're fucked up, right? So a good tip there is go to the gym first in the afternoon. Only serious, okay, either go there first in the morning or first in the afternoon. Only serious people are there gymming, right? People that are there looking for attention are not gymming at that time. So your physical environment, which is maybe your gym, if you go to any place frequently and then you're seeing a lot of like half naked women, then you have to avoid those places. Then your digital environment. These algorithms, right? These algorithms, their main goal is to trap your attention. They only serve you things that they know that you enjoy, right? So if you see your social media algorithms has a lot of baddies in it, you have to either delete the app or you have to rewire the algorithm to tell you what you want. A typical example now is if you're gonna check all of my social medias, it's mostly gym, self-improvement, mixed martial arts, military guys of discipline, because that is what I intentionally search for and intentionally interact with. Once in a while, social media could maybe bring up one fine girl and a picture. On that, they'll show you not interested or interested. Bro, not interested. But here's a harsh truth. If she's out there posting her face card, it's either she's a model or she's looking for attention. Wait, sorry. The model doesn't need attention. She's most likely needing that attention. And to be very frank, if a girl is looking for attention and she craves that much on social media, I don't think she's really wife material, in my opinion. So I'm like, just X, not interested, right? So my social media algorithm is tailored towards what I want. So as a guy, fix your environment by being intentional about what you want the algorithms to show you. And so if you have rewired your mind, your next step now in this whole idea of getting rid of lust is start seeing women as human beings, right? So when you're talking to a girl, right? Because when you lust over women, when you're talking to them, your eyes will keep bouncing off their sexual parts. And they know this, right? You can use it to flirt, but they know when it is flirting and when it is lust. They know the difference. When you're talking to women, treat them as people who have stories, who have interests, right? Yeah, if you want to have sex, it can still come on, but just get to know the person you're dealing with, right? So see them to be human beings first, not just sexual objects. Then one other thing I'll say is, to get rid of lust, one other thing you have to do is, it's difficult for you to be on your purpose and still be very lustful. If you have something that is bigger than you as a man, your purpose, it's easy for you to overcome any of your vices, any of your lustful vices, whether it's being lust or drugs. So guys, have a purpose for yourself, right? And be on your purpose. Your purpose should be your priority. If it's your priority, to be very frank, right? If it's your priority, your social media algorithms will show you.
Yeah, but then you just sparked the thoughts in me.
All right.
Because, yeah, about your purpose, going on your purpose, but then in life there are voids. There are times that you're not really doing anything to be on your purpose, and it might be that you're in a season of waiting, or it could be anything. It could be as a result of your own laziness. It could be as a result of you waiting for the next level. But then you're just the bottom line is that you're not up to anything.
You're stuck in a limbo mode.
You're not on your purpose. So in that sense, once you have said that your purpose was kind of a distraction from actually doing the work you were supposed to do.
When you say your purpose is a distraction from doing your work, your purpose is what you are supposed to be doing.
Yeah, your purpose is what you're supposed to be doing. I get that. But I don't know. I think you're putting a lack of purpose as the root issue.
Yeah. The lack of purpose as a man is a root cause for a lot of BSs. Right? The lack of purpose as a man will keep you empty, will have this empty void in you, and you try to fill with drugs. But because of drugs are fleeting, sex is fleeting. You feel the sex now, when you're done, post-nut clearance kicks in. What else? What other vices? Alcohol. All of these things are there because you don't have a purpose. Because you are leaving your mind to be directed by life, right? When you have a purpose, your mind is intentionally on their purpose because it's your priority. When you direct your mind by yourself, you get to realize that all these other things did not become distraction. The irony is, for most guys, this is why most guys are fucked up, right? When you're not on your purpose, to you, nothing is a distraction. But when you have a purpose, your mind tells you, oh, that is a distraction. A typical example now is, if you discover that your purpose is to become like a fashion model, automatically your diet will highlight, oh, this diet is bad for you. Not eat this. Sugar is bad for you. By the way, sugar is bad for everybody, men or women. Child or adult, it's fucking bad. This is bad. Get rid of it because your mind now has where it's directed to intentionally. So as a man, you have to live with intentions, regardless. So yeah, your purpose can never be a distraction, no matter who you are. It can never be a distraction. Let me see, can it be a distraction? It can be an excuse.
That's the word.
It can be an excuse to overlook some areas of your life. Because I've noticed that, and this is what even gets some guys fucked up, right? At some point, there's this idea that, guy, just have money. When you have money, girls will come to you. At some point, some guys got money, but they realize that girls will come. But it's not the girls they wanted. They say, you know what, have money.
I'm thinking of your boys now.
Exactly. It's your boys on this table, right? Because so see this way, right? Men in the past, they had money and girls came their way. All right, we get it, right? So now, they felt that, oh, it's money that our fathers had that got the women. They forget that our fathers had character. Our fathers had, they had what? Protection, provision. They had values and beliefs, right? But now, the young boy is saying, no, just have money. Now he has money. The women that are coming his way are coming just for the money, either prostitutes or whores or gold diggers. So now, I'm coming. So they realize that, okay, as a guy now, this money thing is not enough. Okay, you know what? Let's go to the gym too because girls too are pursuing gym bros. So now they now have what? Money and fitness, right? They have finances and fitness. But still, because of other things are not there in their life, right? They begin to now be like, what is going on now? These girls want too much. Yeah, girls will tell you they want too much. But if you're a man who has built himself, you will see women who will take you at that level. Yeah. So when you say a woman talk about trash, I need my man to have 100 things. Is that the woman doesn't know what she wants, or she's just a time waster? And by the way, if you're your purpose, you will know a woman as a time waster quick. You just know her from the way she talks or the way she carries herself.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people should apply this lot to your life. That when the measure of success becomes the goal, the measure becomes useless. So then it's like money is the measure of success. Is a measure of success.
For most people, yeah.
So then when it becomes the goal, when money becomes the goal, not the skills not the character. You need, not the character that you need to attain that money becomes the goal. When the money itself becomes the goal, the measurement of money as a success level it becomes useless. And
because so at some point you get used to the money. And so what's next?
You don't have the character, you don't have the things that built because you were just focused on the money, and you can apply it to all spaces of life, like the gym bros, because it's just the muscles. It's just
no. I'm sorry. Most gym bros have muscles are not bros. I'm sorry. And the worst part about gym bros is this is why when I'm talking to guys, I keep telling guys that guys, there's a thin line between what works for women versus what does not work for them. A typical example is this. You don't realize that most women don't really know about Ferraris or Lamborghinis. Yeah. That's because it is guys who know the value of those cars. So when you drive those kind of cars, you are mostly attracting guys or masculine women, right? So like, damn, Ferrari. Same thing with muscles. You can have a decent muscle mass, but anything past that muscle mass is guys you are attracting. Yeah. Same thing with money.
It was what's the name of this guy? This world champion. This guy that is big. what's his name?
Eddie.
No. The guy Simon.
Okay.
Yeah, he was saying it that he was saying it that now it's men that are attracted.
No, it's for real.
It's
so
men. It's always men that are complimenting him.
What I'm going to is that a lot of gym bros believe that the more muscles you have, the more attractive you get. You say that is like this woman's thinking of the bigger your BBL, the more guys you attract. At some point, the bigger the BBL, the more some guys you just turn off automatically, and you have more girls coming to ask you, this is a BBL. Who did it for you? It's not the thing with the guys. The level of muscle you will build, where women are not really coming your way. It's mostly guys. Guys, this is your back like this.
Yeah.
How can I do it? So the truth is that as a guy, you have to know that thin line, right? So for a guy's body, the lean athletic build, right, or the body of a swimmer. If you want to know the kind of a perfect body, look at the body of Michael Phelps, right? He has that V taper, right? Someone like Chris Hemsworth, guys that they're not ridiculously bulky, but they have the muscles. That is the perfect size for women, right? But this idea that more muscles, more women, get that idea out of your head. But sometimes it comes from that ego where I want to be bigger than the next guy. I want to show that I have more strength than the next guy, right? So they start building more muscles. And before you know it, they completely lose the point of why they have muscles in the first place, why they're in the gym in the first place. They start a stupid competition, and before you know it, they see themselves swollen, less attractive, even stiff. Because let's be honest, most gym bros are stiff, right? Most gym bros, if you put them in a real fight situation, they are fucked. They rely on their appearance they'll post up. They'll post up. But I'm pretty sure that if it's in a real fight, I have an extent I can deal with a big guy, right? If it doesn't knock me out,
yeah, that knockout is...
No, if it doesn't cut, again, they don't know how to throw a punch. Their punches are ridiculously wild. And I can tell you, if you can go 3 minutes of dodging his punches, he's going to gas out. Most gym bros can't even last in the bedroom. What am I even saying? Most gym bros don't do cardio. Yeah, I mean, it's bad. That is very bad, though. With all your muscles, you can't perform in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It does, because then it's not like, what's the point? And that's the thing, you think that they would start realizing that, oh, this thing that I'm doing.
That's the point. So their mind is still locked in that competition. Their mind is still locked in, bro, I need to get bigger, I need to get more muscles. But it's like, okay, what are I doing with those muscles? Because some of them have muscles cut away. They've optimized for muscles, for appearance. But in reality, they don't have that strength. In reality, if you ask them to lift a bag of rice from a distance, they can't do it. Carry your gym bros who are benching 200 kg. Tell them to lift 2 bags of rice and go up the stairs. They can't do it. So again, it just comes down from this whole egotistic way of, you know what, I need to show more manpower. There's a guy I train with, right, boxing. I remember like I think about 2 years ago, he came around bragging that he's the strongest man in our gym. Like, he just came around bragging to me. So I was like, okay, no problems, nice award. Now the guy has been doing cardio for the last few months. He has given up on those bodybuilding he was doing because he got to realize that, bro, it was not helping him. It wasn't helping him, right? So a lot of gym bros need to wake up and realize that if you're at the gym to be fit and be attractive, because those things go hand in hand, then excess muscles is not the way, right? I'll always tell you to learn how to fight, no matter what. Even if you want to be a bodybuilder, please learn how to fight, because learn how to fight, learn how to have sex. It's very difficult for a lady to imagine this idea that with all your muscles you can't fight. Do you know how crazy it is? That's how some girls will go and buy podcast mic and say, I have been with all the gym bros. All these gym bros are useless. It's paining me because you have not tried me before, but it's so yeah, guys, gym bros have to realize that once, catch your ego, know why you are in the gym. If you're in the gym, right, to be attractive, right, that's okay, that's good, but know the goal, right? Know the goal. At the same time, no matter what, as a man, aim to be well-rounded. You don't want to be that guy who has muscles but no money. You don't want to be that guy who has muscles but cannot hold a conversation with a girl. You don't want to be that guy who has muscles. Girls are shooting their shots, but you cannot follow up. Because that shit is crazy. Oh. A lot of gym bros can't really hold proper conversation. So I'm not really here to like bash gym bros because my point is you just can't just optimize only one area of your life. You have to become well-rounded, right? Your physique is there, your finances are there, intellectually you are there. You don't have to be like super good. You don't have to be like super great, but just be above average, nigga, right? Be above average in every area of your life. Confidence, finance, fitness, your looks. Some gym bros don't even know how to dress. Right? They feel like they just wear, so far it brings out their muscles. They wear it now. They wear it. So
yeah, because that's become the object of
exactly. Exactly. So they just, I get their goal is, like I said, one trap a man should avoid is falling into his ego. Right? It's a trap every guy should avoid. Like I said, you walk into the gym and you see a guy who is lifting more than you, and now you feel bad. And you say, you know what, in the next 6 months, I should go to lift that. I'll wait for you in the next 6 years. Look at The Rock. Have you seen The Rock's new picture?
No, I haven't seen it. So what is it?
For real? He has lost everything. No. Not everything, but he has lost like quite an amount. I mean, people are saying it was probably for a movie shoot, because I believe it could be for a movie shoot. Some people are saying that no, he was on some things and it damaged his health. But I really don't know. But the truth is that all of these bodybuilders, at some point, they will lose it. So I'm saying just go for a body that is optimized for a lifetime. Except you're a pro builder or you're a model for like, but if you're not in any of those categories, just do like decent strength training, have like decent muscle mass and all that.
Yeah, so then what you just said, reminded me of the fact that, this life is fleeting.
For real.
Life is fleeting. So then what is it that you would say is the cornerstones of your life? That, as long as you got these things sorted out, you got these things done, that you're satisfied with who you are as a man.
I would say for any man, if I'm to think at the back of my head, 5 things that you need as a man, I'll say number 1 is your purpose. Because without it, over and over again, without your purpose, I would say you really don't have anything, you don't really have much, right? You just got an empty shell. Even if you inherit $1 billion, there'll still be something at the back of your head saying, something doesn't just feel right. So 1, your purpose, right? Another thing I'll say is your fitness. Now, again, purpose does not mean money, right? Purpose could just be, a typical example, an example I gave, right, is my physics teacher in high school is one of the best teachers that can encounter in the world, right? So this is me. When I was in like high school that year, I was pretty stupid, like very stupid, super stupid. Then I think it was in my SS2 or SS3 I began to like pick up academically. Then he says that when they called me aside, like he saw my test script, he didn't believe what I got in physics, and he's like, guy, you can do more than this. Right? All those players I used to play in high school, you can do more. My point is that he was the only teacher that I had who spoke sense, like a mentor to me. So what I say is this, so you need some kind of mentorship, right, as a man. You need purpose, you need mentor. So you need purpose, you need mentorship, right? Then you need finances, right? Because without finances adds to your confidence. It shows that what you're giving something valuable to the world, right? That's how finances comes to you. Finances, I would say your fitness. I shall put fitness as somewhere at number 1 or something, but I'm going somewhere. Fitness, these are things that you can't compromise on, and you should not compromise on. Fitness, because you only have one body, right? And without it, I mean, you really can't do shit. Your mind can be fucked up, right? But without a body, I mean, you really cannot go anywhere. You cannot wish things to existence without moving your body. Then I would say, I mentioned what? I've mentioned
fitness.
Then the confidence, right? Without confidence, you'll be stuck, right? Some guys believe that all they want is all they need is finances. With finances, they are good to go, right? But you kind of need like fitness because of, I mean, take care of yourself. You only have one body. And when women choose, women also choose as a side piece. They choose men that are the most healthiest, most fittest, most healthiest. So take care of your fitness, and that's where they stop. They forget to add confidence, right? Because think about it, a lot of guys are in the gym to attract women, but when the woman comes to you, you can't talk to her. So confidence too is there. So yes, just to recap, for a man, it's purpose, right? I'll say mentorship and brotherhood. Yeah, I'll say mentorship and brotherhood because that shows those are the people you surround yourself with. And as a man, I'll tell you this, that the people you surround yourself with are more important than you. Because they inject thoughts in your head that manifest in your life. If you look at the dumbest things you ever do in your life, they come from your friends. They come as funny thoughts at first until they show up in your life. Same thing too, even if you're a man who is in that is grinding phase alone, the thoughts in your head come from other people. So if you surround yourself with the right people, with your brotherhood and your mentors, right? Once you get to realize they give you ideas that help you, then your fitness, because you really have one body, and there's really no need. It's a sin to ignore fitness. Finances, then confidence.
There's one thing about this brotherhood thing, and I don't think I'm the only one that has this problem.
Okay.
Because this is a problem of mine. So I'm considered rather young, yes.
Yeah.
So to find someone that is my age or is
who thinks like you,
who thinks like me is hard. So then would I say I'm alone?
So I'll say you are in that lonely phase. I call it a phase, right? Where your mind, right, has just outgrown your past friends, or the people you used to hang around with, right? Because most people, their friends are friends that walk into their life based on condition. Oh, we live together, we are friends. And they never outgrow those friends. Oh, we went to the same school, so we are friends. So they never outgrow those friends, and they keep stuck. But now you have grown past those friends. But now you're not yet at the level where you begin to attract the new friends. So for someone like you, right, it's most likely that you have to just be putting yourself out there. You could join a digital community, have like-minded guys, but I would always prefer a physical activity. And from my experience, the best places to see such kind of guys are places where guys take themselves serious, right? A couple of places. One, the gym. Although the gym culture is fucked up these days, right? But regardless, people at the gym, to an extent, they take themselves very serious, right? But not everybody, but some people. So gym is a good place to meet people, right? There is a gym. There is, to be precise, any place of physical combat. Any place where you learn how to fight. Anybody that learns how to fight, so to a high degree, takes himself very serious.
Yeah, you see, so that's the thing. Yeah. So all these things that you mentioned, the things that I do. Yeah, so then it's
about time.
All the people that I find there are older than me. So then it's always that I find mentors, not brotherhood.
So I'll say for that one, it's a game of luck. If you go to a different dojo, you see guys of your age, right? If you go to a different dojo, you see guys of your age. If you go to online spaces, right? Online spaces, precisely I'll say on X, right? On X. There's no how, if you look at your TikTok feed, this is why I like TikTok these days, right? If you look at your TikTok feed, you'd always see a guy who's like your age mate discussing topics like this. If you really use social media, right? And you unfollow all those trashy people, you don't see somebody suggested to you who looks like your age range, but talks online, right? I can guarantee you that if it's on a live session and you want to see why you contribute, somehow you see guys there who are like your age who are also there. So again, but you have to be intentional about it if you really want to meet people. But then again, what I say is, for your age, there's a lonely phase. Like, okay, I'm currently self-improving right now. Now I need to get my bearing, right? But so far you make it, then at some point you now make it intentional to meet people of the brotherhood, right? So like I said, the more you do stuff authentic to you while you're leveling up, at some point the guys will come out. So just put yourself out there. If you see a content creator, your age range, maybe even your age bracket, 5 years older than you, and had like live sessions, you'd always see people in the comment section. Check their profile, look at them. Okay, this guy looks young. All right, oh bro, I like the idea you gave there, yada yada yada. And that's how I meet a lot of people online, right? Networking. So whenever like some guys on X drop reasonable posts, I go on there, and I drop like a perspective that makes people feel like, okay, who is this guy? And for instance, people in my DMs are like, oh guy, I like what you said here, yada, where are you from? Bro, I'm from Nigeria. It's like, wow. And for instance, we hit it off. Several guys have had like video calls with them, white dudes. I get more engagement from white guys than black people. I don't know, so it's
Oh, are you saying the Nigerian men are not ready for change?
No, maybe that's one. Maybe that's one, but one thing I know for sure, I think, is that these guys, they already resonate with some high quality information. Most of the content that is here is mostly trashy content. So they already like, they have more people there that are intellectual than they have more people that are intellectual. One, two. I feel the algorithms have not yet pushed me. I'm sorry, based on people that I follow. Two, I believe the algorithms have not yet pushed me to like the local people. That's how I see it. So.
Yeah.
And if the algorithms are not pushing me there, it means the algorithms feel like the people there don't want, I'm not interested in this. That's how I see it. So that's how I see it. So it's like I create something. The algorithm says, Nigerians don't want this, right? They just take it to America or Europe. It's like, oh, I look at my stats. Oh, okay, US, UK, Canada, India before Nigeria.
Yeah, but then I was thinking that I thought the purpose was to affect your community first.
The purpose?
Yeah.
No, I believe I'm on the internet. I'm not in my public community, I'm on the internet. So however I land, I'm still doing my best, right? Yeah. I'm still doing my best. I'm not really going for any community gig recently, right? I'm starting with what is easiest for me, what I think is most accessible for me, and that is the current path I'm seeing. If I see Nigerians at some point, will I be happy? Absolutely, I'll be happy. If I see Africans, will I be happy? Yes, I'll be happy. So, but I'm just going with it. So yes, I feel at some point it might change. I'll be very, very glad. But until then, I can't force. I can only do my part, which is put my message out there and see who it resonates with. Right? I think on TikTok, Nigerians are more, but X, Instagram, YouTube, usually people outside Africa.
What is it that you think it is about you that Nigerians need to understand? What message are you propagating that you think that Nigerian men actually need? What is it that you think you bring of value to Nigerian men, especially?
My message to Nigerian men is, I'll say, bro, let me see. My message to Nigerian men, because I've never phrased it that way, because I'll say my message to men in general, but when you say Nigerian men, there's a perspective that my head just went to, but basically I'll say my message to men is, become well-rounded, right? Be very intentional about your life.
I want to
Nigerian men. No, because Nigerian men have a lot of problems.
Yeah, so then what do you think it is that you're offering as a solution that you've seen in the Nigerian state
solution,
of mind?
I won't say it as a solution, I'll say as message. Because when you say as a solution, it probably looks like
like we're trying to sell them a course.
Yeah, exactly, but no, it's not about the message, right? For the longest, Nigerian men have been having low self-esteem for the longest. And it happened since the slavery era. Mind controlling, mind conditioning. So there's a massive form of low self-esteem in Nigerian men. Also, it is that we need to like fix that, because without that with that same self-esteem problem, there is no way the country is going anywhere. We think our problem is with the leaders. No.
You know, Nigerians have to change Nigeria. Like, see, Nigeria is going to remain like this for the next 200 years if we continue leaving it to politicians.
I'll say, as for Nigerian men, is first, fix your self-esteem. Because that is the problem. If you remove self-esteem, Nigerians are not really bad people, right? Nigerian men, fix your self-esteem. Start having principles, right? But if I think about it, because I'm thinking about it, right? I think Africans need to go back to their roots. I think we need to go back to our roots. Because because one thing for sure is the white men used religion against us. They did, and I really don't want to touch this topic because a lot of Nigerians, they want to still bask in their religion, and it's not my job to highlight. Their religion is good, but it's always been weaponized against blacks, right? That's the problem. So I say, like, Nigerian men, self-esteem, principles and values. Yeah. Adopt principles and values, right? Go back to our roots. Because we've heavily demonized our roots for a while as blacks, and which is a problem. Which is a problem. I remember one pastor opened his mouth and was saying that even for the white men that came and gave us Christianity, we will still be sacrificing human beings by now. And I'm like, in your mind, you're wise. What did Abraham want to sacrifice before God gave him ram? He was about to knife Isaac.
Yeah.
So if wait, pause. I know you are going to, but if Abraham did not see it as a normal practice, do you think he would not have questioned God? He's like, God.
It wasn't a normal practice because then I don't want to take it out of context because the Bible did say that Abraham believed in his heart that God was able to bring him back.
Sorry?
Abraham believed in his heart that God was going to bring Isaac back because in Abraham's head.
No, back to life on that slab or back to life through somebody's womb.
No, not through somebody's room. Bring Isaac back.
After he has knifed him.
After he has knifed him, because Abraham already had gotten the message from God that it was Isaac that he was going to use to be a father of nations. It was through Isaac. So then he knew that God was all powerful. So in his head, he's thinking that, an all powerful God is telling me to kill Isaac. It must be for a reason. And even if I'm going to do it,
perfect.
He believes in his head that Isaac he was able to bring Isaac back. So it's not.
No, go somewhere.
So it's not a thing of it being normal.
Yeah. So he said that this being that is so powerful says I should kill Isaac, right? Because he will bring him back. Same way the Africans believe that their deity, no will bring the sacrifice back, but sacrifice the God is so powerful. And it's telling us to sacrifice this human being. And that's where they saw it too.
Yeah, but I don't know.
So this is it. I really don't want to go into this conversation because I can say for a fact that you probably know Christianity in your life, right? You don't know past the Bible. I'm sorry, even if it's not the Bible in and out 100%, you don't know past the Bible. And I can tell you that I think I've read a decent number of religions. I can say for a fact that they all have some form of spirituality in it, right? That to an extent, a good number of them involved blood sacrifice, right? So I don't know how it makes sense that a lot of religions, randomly, that never met each other, had some form of blood sacrifice, whether it was through killing animals or killing human beings, but to an extent, there's a form of blood sacrifice. So I'll put it that way. Let's not get into this.
Yeah, but one more thing, that just because they all have, similar themes in your perspective, but it doesn't really mean that there isn't something that is nuanced and more of the truth. Well, that is the truth.
I think
because then at the end of the day, at the end of the day, the truth will always be the truth, and whatever is the truth, whatever stands against it is a lie. So. Just because they are similar, the point of a lie is for it to be similar to the truth, right? So then, if they all have the same kind of thing, you can get confused. You can get persuaded to think that just because they all look the same, it means that they are refutable.
So I guess just because a billion people believe something doesn't mean it's true.
Yeah,
so I agree with you.
And just because everything looks the same doesn't mean
I think
you like.
But the whole point, like the whole point about it is that not a single soul can claim he knows the truth. Who do you know can claim he knows the truth? And who find somebody that will give him a very good debate? Show me, who's that?
In what context?
In any context, somebody who says he knows the truth. I won't get a good debate.
Yeah, but then that one is based on the factor on our limitations as human beings. We can't.
So the bottom line is that fine, we have limitations as human beings, right? So let's know what to do with the limitations. So the whole point is this: is that if we keep going back and forth on this religious topic, we'll keep having to explain things together, how they all come together. And before you know it, it's almost like I'm trying to convince you. But the bottom line is this: is that you know what you're trying to achieve. After looking at this whole thing holistically, right? The things you know you know them because you're trying to achieve something, right? I mean, the things that you intentionally know, and things that you know because you're trying to achieve something. So me too, I was trying to achieve something, and I knew some things in the process, right? So I'm like, okay, you know what? This thing I know, will it work for me? Yes or no? It's not about, okay, to me, I believe that if you're looking for the truth, good though, good for you, go for the truth. But my question is this: the thing that I know, will it work for me? If it doesn't work for me, then trash it away and look and go for what will work for me. And to be very, very frank, I believe that, in my opinion, the only listening to the Christian point of view was not enough for me. I needed to see things from other perspectives. And I personally, I think I'm grateful for the fact that I've seen things from other people's perspectives. So yeah, that's how I see it.
Yeah, I get you.
It looks like you're not exactly confident in what I just said, but...
No. I don't agree with... I don't agree with what you said, but it's just...
No, I don't expect you to agree with me.
Yeah, I know, it's just that we can't...
No, one, we can't argue that because, like I said, what things I know are useless to you. Right? Because you're not heading in the same direction I'm heading at. But the things that I know are working for me. And I can't bring them up. I can't bring them to you. It's like someone comes into this room now and he's speaking Portuguese. Will anybody understand him? But we tell him that he's saying rubbish. Tell him that he's saying rubbish now. Because it's okay to him. Right? It's like there's a particular, because I really don't want to go deep into this topic, so I will say shallow intentionally. There's a particular religion, right, where the God says that he created other gods, right? Because the reason is that he created the other gods to have different perspectives and different ways, but regardless, they all proxy back to him as the ultimate, right? And that's where I'll leave it. And if you look at the Christian version of that, it's the same reason that God created multiple languages for there to be different perspectives. So that's how I'll just end it there, right? That's just...
No, I know what you just said is Christianity, what Christianity is.
No, the first part was Hindu.
No, but then, besides that, besides leaving you out of it.
So the whole point is, every religion is connected. If you're open-minded, you get to realize that every single religion... Now, I won't say every single because sometimes some religions were man-made for ill intention. But if you look at it, most religions are interconnected. You really, really cannot just wake up and say, oh, they're all connected. That's what I was saying.
Well, I don't agree, but then it's just, we have other things to
Yeah, exactly. I like one time I says that the things I know about religion, I've known them for like 6-7 years now. The thing you know about your Christianity, you know them for give or take 20 years. So maybe 20 or 18 or maybe 17, 15 years. So why the fuck should I be having a conversation with you on that? That's not me saying I know more than you.
Yeah.
That's just me saying I know different from you. No, I don't know more, but not different.
No, we're going to come back to this thing one time. We're going to come back
one
to
day,
it
but I feel like if I'm going to go into it, one thing I like, if I want to argue it out, I like using a whiteboard to argue it out, so that it's black and white. You can't bend it, right? So we'll get back to it very soon.
We'll come back very soon.
So let's talk about dating in your 20s.
See, at this point, I don't know. In my perspective, yeah, maybe
as
a
man, because dating for women in their 20s is a different ball game.
Yeah,
I really believe that past 20s as a woman, man, maybe that it's God that did that. God just felt like past your 20s as a woman, your chances of having your peak fertility as a woman is probably 25. After 25, it's a decline. So it's not me, it's God. So women have a biological clock. So by age 30, the eggs are not as fresh as, so they have cobweb. I like this girl. This girl said, so you mean by age 30, my eggs have cobwebs? I was like, you see it that way, I think so. Yeah.
Wait, I don't know, my perspective on the whole dating is that, number one, yeah, I don't even go near anyone that I can't see myself getting married to.
Very important.
So then, because if I give reasons, we'll go on a deep end. But then the short answer is that the people that you are around most often, you start to let your guard down around them mentally. I'm not talking about your mental guard.
Yeah.
So then when you're spending so much time around this person, and this person is constantly infiltrating your mental guard, so even if they don't mean you any harm, they would deposit things inside you that would most definitely change the kind of person you are. So then, if you can't see yourself changing to this kind of person, and you're not happy about it, like you shouldn't even be bothered with messing around with person. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No. That's still a very valid point. I get you 100%.
So then that's number one. So then if I never want to be like you, I don't even come near you. That's one. And two, yeah, this is an experience thing. I don't know. I think sex these days has just made everything what it's not meant to be.
In what sense?
Like sex has become the goal. Like guys
has become the goal. Go ahead.
Sex has become the god of everything. Like, emotional wise though.
If you get sex out of the way, how is this the god of everything?
Is that?
If you get sex out of the way, how is still it's a god of everything?
Yeah, that's the point. It's not people haven't been able to get it out of the way.
Then that's the whole point of men being weak-minded.
Yeah.
That's the whole point, and that's the point of this, of my message, of guys becoming strong. Guys becoming strong with the brotherhood, right? Again, speaking of brotherhood, sorry, back to it. Let me stay on this. So yes, this is how I see it, right? Dating your 20s. I see it more to be a big waste of time, right? And this is my story. Shortly, I think 19 or 20, right? I got into a relationship. Then I was actively on self-improvement, upgrading my mindset and stuff. And then 6 months after the sex, literally speaking, sex was out of the way at this point, right? And we're hitting it real good. I think I fell out of place with this girl. And I was thinking, what made me fall out of place? I realized that I had changed who I was mentally at that moment, right? And at that moment in time, I didn't really see her as who I wanted to be with 6-7 years from now. So I was like, you know what? That made sense. I'm just genuinely speaking, she was a very nice person, right? The red flags were not really, really there. But I figured that this is not who I wanted. Because, like I said, actively on self-improvement, I began to think about myself, asking questions like, what do I want from a woman, and things like that. So I began to realize that what I wanted from a woman, she doesn't have it. Forget her, give her time to grow, she doesn't have it. You need to have it from a very, 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 very young age. I figured that, okay, you know what? What that means is, if just within the 6 to 8 months of this relationship, this is how it is, right? Then picture me meeting a woman today. I'm upping myself, and she's not upping herself. It's going to create a new conflict. I said, you know what? Until I have something concrete in my head, right? I feel like this is what I want. Then there's really no point being in a relationship when you know fully well that you're not sure this is what that means is you're just experimenting with your life. You're experimenting with your future and somebody else's future.
So then it's not don't date in your 20s, it's don't date until you know what you want.
So I'm still going somewhere. Because in your 20s, like I said, your 20s are your foundation for you to figure out what you want in life. Before your 20s, you were being told what to do. You were being told, oh, wear this cloth, sit on this desk, don't raise your hand until it's time to speak, sit down here for this hours, until then. So now you're in your 20s, you're beginning to explore that, okay, fine, I'm supposed to think for myself. I'm supposed to figure out for myself. You know what? So your 20s, literally speaking, even though you may have a girlfriend, but you're still trying to figure things out. Now, to be very frank, having somebody beside you to figure things out with might be a distraction if you don't even know what you want. There are people who have gone on that line, it works for them. That's a minority of shit. That's less than 10%. So I'll say you cannot really rely on that as a man. Always rely on what you can control. So now I'm saying, you know what? Let me get myself to the point where, fine, I can get my level of confidence. Step 1. Step 2 is, okay, then while I'm doing that, let me figure out what I want in women. Right? So the fact that I said don't date, I'm still out there talking to women, understanding how they relate, their perspectives and stuff. And to me, I feel it's going on fine because to an extent, I understand female psychology to an extent. I'm red pill aware to an extent. So I personally believe that as a guy, in your 20s. Now, I'm saying 20s because you may go and think I'm referring to like 20 to 30, no. By age 26, age 27, I would say it's okay for you to get into a relationship by your late 20s because by your late 20s, you're kind of like having a clearer vision of where you are going to already because you've worked on yourself for your early 20s. So that's my point, right? You have this vision you're actively working towards. So until then, I don't really see a need for you to be in a relationship because it could be a waste of time.
Yeah, because I don't know, because I keep ringing on this thing about age because then it starts to give people the idea that it's the age that matters. It's not the work that you do while you're growing. I know, I understand where you're coming from.
I know where you're coming from. So most guys will take it as a life template.
Yeah. So then I want to say it like this. So then since I was little, yeah, my parents always gave me like almost free autonomy of my life. So then I could decide what I wanted to do. So it wasn't a case of, oh, you go here, oh, you go here. So then by the time I was 18, 19, I already started knowing what I wanted out of life. So it wasn't a confusing thing that I just got out and I started thinking for myself that, well, I don't even know. So I kind of skipped the whole spiral. And yeah, I'm forever grateful to them for that.
So now, for the average guy, what do you think?
Yeah, for the average guy, it's not like that.
So one thing I'm grateful for this podcast is the fact that the nuanced approach is that he can say that, okay, oh, that's when he was small, he was already making choices for himself. But for most guys, that's not the case. Most guys at age 10 have their uncles, aunties making choices for them, right? So that's the beauty of life as a man, right? Your 20s for most guys, the keyword is for most guys. And that's why I tell you, don't just take any advice. Know why it works. Because if you know why it works, you know whether this advice is good for you or not. That is why I tell you, go for a coach, like a life coach or something, who understands your story, your idea, your shortcomings, your perspectives, because he can then begin to offer you tailored solutions to your problems. Now, you may have problems. Now, you just say that the problem that most guys face, you're not facing it or you do not face it. So this advice will not really apply to you because, okay, you've been thinking for yourself all along, but most guys aren't thinking for themselves all along. They've been thinking for them on their behalf. Now you're expecting them to go and choose a life partner just like that, right? How about now? They used to go through the fire and forge themselves.
Yeah, I know.
Again, guys need time to build themselves, which I need to mention. Okay.
So then I was trying to say that we should try to give the reasons as to why.
It's the reasons. It's the reasons we're giving here because without. It's really not wise taking any advice if you don't know the why behind the advice.
Yeah.
When you know the why, it's simple for you to say, okay, does this advice work for me? Yes or no? And that's why a lot of guys, when they take online advice, instead of figuring out why it works, they adopt it in their life. Again, this is why as a man, you need goals. But if you have a goal in your head and you hear an advice, that goal might hit you differently and say, the advice makes sense, but I don't think it works for me. It all starts with having a goal for yourself as a man. Because without a goal or a vision, your mind cannot register any advice that makes sense. That is why most guys are weak. You can't really tell them what to do because their mind won't even pick it up. So yeah, that's why I said that. Over here, we try to give you the why behind the advice. And that is the most important thing behind any advice, the why.
Yeah, so then now we go deep into the why.
The why of what?
The dating.
Okay, I've mentioned a couple of reasons, right? I said one. Most guys, okay, I've already mentioned that one. Most guys don't know what they want, right? They don't even know what they want out of life. Talk less of a woman, right? Two is men need that phase to build themselves. They need that phase to build themselves. And they need, sometimes, I say as a man, there's a lonely phase. Every guy that has improved his life, this is why you need mentors, because a mentor can see a problem you're going through. he has two options. Either he helps you go through that problem, or he knows that that problem is a problem that you must go through. Right? This is what I tell you as a guy. Nobody would really help you to go from 0 to 1. Nobody helps you do that. People help you go from 1 to 100 fast.
But
0 to 1, nobody helps you. That's why I say, as a man, in any area of your life, never be needy. Because when you are needy, nobody wants to help you. The banks will never help you if your business needs money. They never help. The banks come in when they see that you're already doing a healthy business and you want to step up. They come in. But when you need money, they don't come in. Same thing with women. When you need women, or you're needy and desperate around women don't come your way. When somebody who already has women around him, all of a sudden, that's why as a guy, when you get into a relationship, right, or you act like you basically don't need women, trust me, for some right reasons, they come to you. I'm telling you from the fact that the days when I try to literally don't give a fuck about my looks, for some very random reasons, they are coming. And what else? There's money, I've used women. In any area of your life, if you're not needy. So, circling back is that you need to build yourself. Your mentor can't help you to start, but it can help you to reach further heights, take you from 1 to 100 as faster than what you took it to get to 0 to 1. So yeah, so you need to build yourself. So while you're building yourself, women are a very big distraction. They might tell you, oh, they're a distraction, right? And by the way, in your 20s, right, look at the age of the person you want to be dating. Maybe she's 2 years younger than you, right? So now you're like, if you're getting married in your late 20s, maybe she's 26 and you guys are getting married, I was like, okay, that's fair. I think her eggs are still good, right? I'm speaking from an evolution perspective. It's not me. I didn't write the rules, right? Evolution perspective, right? So maybe you're 28, you're getting married to someone at 26, decent, right? Good, right? But me personally, I want the ladies with the healthiest eggs, right?
You know this thing. There was a study that they did, and I'm not sure about the age, the exact specific age here, but I know that the difference between when a woman's fertility chance drops to 50%, it's 2 years after that when the man gets to an age 2 years after, that's when his own also drops to 50%. So
that's a lie.
No, it's true. Like, it's proper backed.
No.
It's
okay,
properly backed.
No, go ahead.
So then
hold on. Go ahead.
So then it's the woman's chances of getting pregnant drops to 50%. Let's say at 28. So then the man's zone, it's at 30. Then it drops to 50%.
Oh, so okay? I think, okay, know what? Let me take that back, right? I remember me saying that as a man, your 25s is your healthiest.
Yeah.
Except you live a lifestyle that sustains that, right? Now, circle back now, it's the same thing. I think now it makes sense. This is why I say if you know why things work the way they are and can bring them back to first principles, then you can know what to do. So now, what were the sample set of this group of 30-year-old men? Was it the average man who's not?
Probably the average man.
No, I'm going somewhere because every single research always lacks some context. So the kind of men they brought for this research, who were they? Right? The average man who barely works out. Why don't you bring a man who's living a healthy lifestyle from his early 20s? Does it? And by the way, sorry. I'm sorry. Are they saying quality of sperm dropped by 50% at age 30? Because again, I want to know what he said there. Are they saying chances of him getting a woman pregnant?
Yeah.
I've never heard it before. I've never heard it before. I think I'm open to looking at that research, but I'll stand on my ground that if I'm thinking based on principles, right, that I know already. If you take your lifestyle, if as a man you take your lifestyle serious, in your early 20s, in your late 20s, by the time you get to your 30s, your sperm should be fine. You should still have the quality sperm, because even the guys in their 40s and 50s are still getting girls pregnant. The guys in their 60s and 70s are still getting girls pregnant. Look at our law. Look at our what they call it, our lawmakers here in Nigeria. How well, how in their 60s they're still getting girls 19 and 20 pregnant. So I believe that a huge context there is let's say monoline or something, or is missing. Maybe I'm not just, we're not getting the right picture.
Yeah, because everything's about context, because you could also say that the politicians, that it's not their children. That's another thing.
That's another perspective.
That's another perspective. You could say that they are
authentic fraud.
They are the far end of the spectrum. They are the rarity of the case.
Yeah.
That there are many men that are old that can't get women pregnant. You can also say that there are women that are old that do get pregnant.
But based on like generic science and evolution and all that.
Yeah, so then I know.
The man's testicles still has sperm at a good count. He can get almost any woman pregnant.
Yeah, I know, but
sharpshooter.
What I'm saying is, what I was trying to point out to that question is that with that question is that I don't know, guys should also take into account that time is going by when they are looking as regards to improving themselves for the sake of marriage,
so
for the sake of
I would like to know what the chances,
rest of their life.
I would like to know what the chances are of a 40-year-old getting a woman pregnant. I wish we can Google that. Can I Google that? Put on here. What are the chances of a guy of 40 years old getting a girl pregnant?
I'm not sure.
Go ahead.
It's anyone's thing.
Now.
No. Because then this thing turns to a Google.
Let it speak for the average 40-year-old. Just go ahead. Punch it in.
Okay. For the average 40-year-old.
What are the chances of an average 40-year-old man getting a woman pregnant? I want to believe it's around 80 or 90%.
I doubt it. $10 to 12%.
Well,
at age 40, the average.
At age 40, the average man's chance of getting a woman pregnant per cycle, if she's under 35 and fertile, is about
10 to 12%.
That is compared to 15 to 20% of a guy in his early 30s. Over 12 months of regular intercourse, about 60 to 65% of the couples with a 40-year-old man conceives. This mathematics is crazy. If 60 to 65% of people 40-year-old and above, and you're saying the chances are 10 to 12%, I'll give these guys blow.
Yeah, it depends.
The female age is a stronger factor. A fertile woman under 35 paired with a 40-year-old man still has a fair chance. If both partners are older, probability sharply drops. So my point is that a guy in his 30s still has a good chance.
No, I know. I understand that men always, when it comes to fertility, men always have the better chance. Yeah, the better
end of the stick.
End of the stick, yeah. But then, what I'm trying to point out is that men shouldn't have the sense of entitlement that, I always have time. I always have time to develop. Like, everything that you have to do.
No, so,
you do it now.
That's a crazy trap. Hold on, pause. I think that's a crazy trap, right? That idea that I have time, in my opinion, is a bad thinking, right? Because when you tell yourself you have time, what would you do with the time?
You waste it.
Perfect, you waste it. So, I believe every man needs to act with a sense of urgency. Every man needs to act with a sense of urgency. That's why I said, if you can see very well, I said 20s, but I said in your late 20s, right, you can then begin to actively date women, actively get into committed relationship in your late 20s. It means that by then you should have built something for yourself. By then you should have had some level of confidence. You have dealt with your insecurities, right? So in your early 30s is when I believe, in a perfect male timeline, your early 30s is when you can start having kids. In my opinion, though, for most, again, this advice is for the average man. Some people, you might get to your financial success by 25, and just get married by 26. Good for you. You can have that confidence by 25. Good for you. But the average man, there's a reason why a lot of men in their 30s right, are still good. Like, they're good because that's when they began to hit some good strides. And when it comes to like sexual market value, right, a man's sexual market value starts to become serious at age 30, right? And that's the same period a woman's sexual market value declines, right? So as a guy, trying to date your age mates most likely ends up in what? In kind of like, it barely even happens because when you're in your 20s, mind you, when you're in your 20s, you're competing with guys in their 30s. Do you realize that?
Yeah.
You're competing with babes, with guys in their 30s. The chances of you winning them are very slim. So that's why I say that in your 20s, I believe that relationship should be out of the picture. The key word here is early 20s. Mid-20s, by then, at least, you may not have the finances you want, but your confidence and your health, you should have them up to 90%, up to 90 to 100%. Never let those things go. Then your late 20s, you can start dating, right? Start dating what your heart does it to go for. Without letting feminists go after what is in your heart. So far, you're not going against the law.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
That's another thing. There was something I wanted to talk about.
Oh, go ahead.
And I'm trying to remember what it was. Because it came to me this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And
What topic?
Because then I wanted to ask something about you specifically.
Oh, go ahead.
Something, it should be something, the raw side.
Go ahead.
Like, I asked this question before, but you didn't really give me the answer. I asked this question today before, but you didn't really give me the answer I was looking for.
Go ahead, say it.
So
no, the camera is here.
What is it that you would die with, knowing that you've done these things and you're happy with your life? And you were talking to the audience. You were talking to the audience what they need to do in order to be satisfied with their life, in order to be fulfilled, in order to, you were talking to the average man.
What's on my bucket list?
No, not your bucket list specifically.
Right.
Like, you were talking to the average man, that's, confidence, brotherhood, and this. But I'm talking about you specifically now.
Okay.
What is it in your own life that you will die with, knowing that you've done these things, you have these things as cornerstones?
You mean at this point? You mean at this point in my life, or you mean like my life generally?
When you're about to die.
All right. Okay.
Whenever, at the point of death, what is it that you think back and say that these were pillars of my livelihood and I respect that and I'm happy they were?
Also, I think hold on. I'll give you an answer for every guy. Then come back to me. I believe as a guy, if you're looking at your deathbed, which is a very good thing to do, it makes you think about the things you really, really want to do, that you really, really care about, right? It makes you think about, okay, fine, these are the things I care about, so I should do them. So I'll say these are your childhood fantasies, because when you were a child, those fantasies were your most authentic self. So now if I have to bring that in, right, I've asked myself, what are the things that if I have them, I'll be happy to die, correct? You know what?
You can answer that.
Hold on. At my deathbed, I'm like, these are the things that I had to myself, right? And now I think I can die in peace, knowing that I did these things. Is that what the question is about?
Now I'm interested in the answer for that one.
Okay, calm down now, sure.
But
you just said this to me.
But that wasn't the question.
Right. So okay. Or if you give me your answer, right, I may figure it out, your question.
Okay, so then
if you answer for yourself,
if I can say that I was honorable, I'm an honorable person. I was someone that really centered on justice, the justice for other people, not just myself. That I helped people get justice out of life. I helped people. I was honorable. That means I was consistent with what I projected into the world. I always acted out of love and not exactly niceness, not exactly, yeah, kindness, but out of what is true love. You know, those are the three things that, I would say that, like, what would you say that these were pillars
of my
of your
character.
life? Yeah, these were pillars of your life.
Pillars of my character.
Yeah.
I'm going somewhere now. Truth. Truth, that's why everything about me is about unplugging from the lies. If I hear something is a lie, has been proven to me as a lie, I should not feel bad about it, but work towards it, right? So one, truth. And that's why I tell people that it's no way of bragging, right? It's a personal thing to me. I don't like to lie. My mom knows this. My mom knows this. So, and she got to a point where I remember when, I'm sorry, like I said, it's not a way to brag.
Yeah.
I remember someday when somebody made a statement about me, and my mom asked me, is it true? I said, no, it's not true. My mom says, I know him, he doesn't lie. Like, that statement alone. Because, bruv, as it is, do you want to beat me? You can't beat me. So, I've come to realize that, and it came from this Jordan Peterson's advice that,
truth comes from fear.
No. The advice is, tell the truth, but at least don't lie. Because when you lie, it corrupts your thinking.
Yeah.
So ever since I heard that, I began to hear him say that thing, stop lying. To me, just talk to me as, you know what? And again, I came into like Miyamoto Musashi's talk, which is more like, when you lie, it corrupts your character. And ever since, it's like, if I tell you the truth, it's because I know you cannot beat me. Now, has there been pocket moments where I have to omit the truth? Because the key thing here is, don't lie, right? It is sometimes I feel like I can just omit the truth. But even down to babes, if babes ask me X, Y, and Z, I'll say yes. Like, that's exactly what I want to say. I'll look at your face, pause, and say, well, it's the truth. Right? Because I don't like to lie. So one is the truth. I think the truth still covers integrity, covers honesty. Let me see what else should I talk about. I would say justice, right? I'll say justice. Fairness, right? Because I'm someone who preaches win-win situation, right? I don't lose for you to win, right? Either will I expect that you lose. I always think of a win-win situation. And that's the only theory that's coming to my mind that I would say that covers everything that's my values of my character. I'm thinking, is there any other thing? Everybody around me should be good, right? Everybody around me should be good. And to an extent, is that possible? I don't think so, but everybody that is around me, to an extent, has to be good, right? It bothers me when I know that you are around me and something is not, I can help, right? Then it bothers me. But yeah, I think that's what comes to my head right now. That everybody that was around me was good.
Yeah, there's someone.
If they wanted to be good, because I'll tell you, I've seen people who have been self-sabotaging, and you really cannot help anybody that's self-sabotaging. You can't help them. You might have the intention to help them, but ultimately, they keep falling back towards their nature. What do you want to do?
And that's the thing. And it might sound cliche, but then they will drag you down.
No, they would. Yeah. They would. It's like trying to save somebody who is drowning. The lifeguards don't save you from your front because you can easily drag them, put them down. So they try to take you from your back, right? And if you turn around, they'll keep dancing around you until you get the point that at this moment your head now is above water. Just breathe, and if you can just breathe, you'll be fine. So yeah. I think helping people that don't want to be helped is a problem. And it's an egotistic thing, which I personally have stopped, right? Because, like, I can't save everyone. And sometimes it makes you feel bad, like, why can't I? But then again, if you remember that some people just want to just drown.
Yeah, so then how do you identify when someone is the kind of person that doesn't want to help themselves? Where do you draw the line? Because then it could be a thing of the person is just going through a hard time, and from their perspective, you're being cruel.
The person could be going through a hard time.
Could be genuinely going through a hard time.
Then when he's done with his hard time and he wants help.
No, it's not that he doesn't want help. It's not
no.
that.
At the moment, he's going through a hard time. Then when he's done with his hard time, he should come for the help now. If I'm still available, like that's the point. And that's the harsh truth. And I'm saying this from a perspective of I have somebody in my life who is close to me, right? Who I know that he's angry at me because I stopped giving him help, right? And that's simply because, bro, when I was there for years trying to help you, you took it for granted. And I kind of realized that, okay, fine, truly, you never said you wanted the help, right? I was just offering. And now I said that I'm no longer helping you again. Now he's pissed. I'm like, life is life, man. You move on. You cannot save everyone, right? And the desire to want to save everyone is a problem. I've come to realize that's actually a problem that can backfire, because I feel like for years he wanted me to, he felt like I wanted him to change who he is as a person. But when I stopped helping him, he became angry. I'm like, why the fuck are you angry? Like, you did not want it, so why are you bothered? So life is life, man. What can you can't do much. Yeah. So those are what I would call my pillars of character. Truth, fairness, which still covers a lot of things. I wouldn't say integrity because that should be under truth. Responsibility, yeah, which make sure that everybody around me is good. Yeah, that's what's coming to my mind now. Win-win, right? Generosity, yeah.
Okay, so then, I mean, I believe that whatever it is that you hold as a pillar of your life, you should try to propagate it into society. That means like you should try as much as possible to impact. So then, yeah, you're impacting.
I believe in living by example.
Yeah, so then you are impacting truth now with this. So then, the others, what are you doing?
So win-win. In my content, I always preach win-win. Right? Don't self-sacrifice for people. Love yourself. Give yourself what you need. Right? You first not giving the whole world what you don't have. Right? I preach about that. It must be done in my preaching because there's a limit to how much I can show you that I'm doing. Right? I vlog, so I think basically from what I speak about in my content, I talk about it. Win-win, the truth. What else did I say again? Fairness, because I'm somebody who believes that nothing is good or bad. Everything has a role. Everything has a purpose, right? So it has to an extent, society has labeled some things good, some things bad in terms of morality, which I now understand, right? So again, I try to give people, I try to make people realize that idea of good and bad is simply just is contract by society, which also plays its role. So yeah, it's by me preaching and me living by it. So I believe that's the best I can do. Preach it and live by it. If I just preach it without living by it, then they can call me out on it. But if I'm living by it and preaching it, then that's the best I can do. I can't force it down people's throats. And I believe that my content is to at least impact some. And I feel like at some point, if I keep saying the message, a lot of people will come, a lot of people want to hear the message. But it's just that one guy out there who is going to impact. Who is that guy out there who's going to hear the message and say, you know what? Stone said, say the truth. And the truth will make you feel powerful. Let me say the truth and see how it makes me feel. Yeah, and I adopt it and it works for him.
I just remembered when you said, you mentioned Jordan Peterson, and I like his view on truth is that, you can't continue lying long enough, because what you're doing with lying is that you're bending reality. It's like you're bending reality into what is not, and reality will always be reality.
Yeah.
It will always come back to what it is.
It will bounce back.
And whatever it is, and if you're on the end of it, it will slap you in the face.
Exactly. It's going to warp your judgment. And again, one thing he says about lying is that when you lie, it does stain your judgment, right? It stains your judgment. It makes you to become somebody you can't even trust. Because if you hear people say something, I don't trust myself. It's like you don't trust yourself. If you don't trust yourself, who the fuck should you not trust?
No.
So I feel like people make statements without thinking about the consequences. And that's why it's easy. I feel like when you lie, again, And this is why when I began to have that actual instruction in my life, right? And again, it ties into the fact of the Bible. When the Christian Bible says, give and you shall receive. To me, that is more of an instruction than an advice.
Yeah.
If you're giving out lies,
the lies will come back to you.
It's the lies you are receiving. And ever since I began to practice it, I began to see that, okay, hold on. It's actually, and the painful part about this thing is that it's easier for you to detect people's lies. Because at the back of your head, just be like, this is complete BS. It's complete bullshit. So yeah, the best I can do is live by it and preach it. That's the best I can do. Anybody else sees it, we're like, okay, fine. Let him try it, and if he sees results, good. If he doesn't see, I don't know how else you'll see results by lying. Yeah, but I think I like that question. I think that came unawares, like what?
Yeah, they're more like that.
No problem. Let's hit it off.
No, now. I'm still trying to understand, the framework of the person I'm talking to. So, yeah. So then, I personally don't have anything I want to touch on now again. Like for everything to digest.
Wait, hold on. Just if I don't look at the time, just cut it. If I do this, is the time. But I do.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask, what are the things that you see as traps that men these days, young guys aren't really seeing as traps, that they are hugging these things with their whole.
So you're saying what are the biggest traps that guys fall into?
Things that they're actually embracing.
So
not just that.
Yeah, I get that the traps that they are happily falling into.
Yeah.
Before I address that, let me address some key issues, right? Because I'm not sure I can list out all of the traps without thinking of them carefully, because I would always omit some things, right? Let's talk about why they fall into the traps. A couple of reasons why guys fall into traps is that one, they aren't thinking for themselves. Primarily, they aren't thinking for themselves. They are working with ideas that their parents put into their head, and society put into their head. So they're not really thinking about themselves. That's why I'm very careful when I'm giving advice. I try to give context in which that advice is going to work. Right? So they're not thinking for themselves. Two, the goals, right? Goals frame the way you think, right? So most guys don't have goals that were built by themselves. Most people's goals are still with what their parents and society is putting in their head, which is go to school, get a degree, get married, then die. So I'm going to use that generic goal to frame the traps that the average man falls into that guarantees misery in his life. The first trap is go to school, right? School itself is not the trap. The trap is why you are in school. Like, why are you in school? Are you in school for just academics? Because over and over again, it has been proven that these days, academics doesn't mean jack shit. So me, if I'm sending my child to school, right, and I have the kind of money I'm looking for, I'm sending him to go and learn things like critical thinking, social interaction, him understanding people and everything. So the trap, first of all, that school will guarantee success is a very big trap, right? School does not guarantee you jack shit. Right? It puts you in an environment with other people. Because people who don't really go to school, you can tell from the way they carry themselves. There's a difference, right? Can you learn it outside school? Yes, you can learn it outside of school, but it just comes naturally when you're in school. So I say that trap that school make you give everything you want to succeed is a big trap, right? So guys should get rid of it. Another trap I would say is getting into relationships early when you don't even know who you are. It's a very big trap, right? Back in the days, one thing people have to realize is that back in the days, one thing that made relationships very, very successful back in the days is people married within their communities, right? So, and then again, we didn't have, they married within their communities. What that means is that, to an extent, we already share the same beliefs and values. Very important, right? For compatibility. We grew up in the same community. I know where you are from. I know where, I know where you're from. You know where I'm from. And you have seen that the people around me share the same values and beliefs as the people with the person you're getting married to. But now these days, people are being raised more by the internet than their physical environment. So it's a trap with that same thinking that, oh, well, I cannot see a girl, she looks good, let me get into a relationship with her. Bro, you will cry out of that relationship. If not, you'll wreck your life. That's another trap. So guys, for guys in that area, they need to think critically about what they want in a partner and realize if that person that they're talking to has it. It's that simple. I tell guys, your exercise for women is simple. Write out 5 things that you want in a partner. No more than 5. No more than 5. Better still 3. Because it will help you filter out the women that you're seeing, you're currently looking at, right? So, for me personally, I say family-oriented, health-conscious, and feminine, right? Those are my foundations. If any of those 3 things are not there, I'm sorry, why am I getting married to you? If you don't have family orientation, what the fuck are we doing? If you don't have health conscious, because these days, health consciousness is a serious problem, right? People are screaming that women even at their early 20s are now having PCOS. And we're out there screaming hereditary. And shut the fuck up. Check your sugar levels. I can bet you there's a problem there. Fuck, I haven't said that. Then what's feminine? Because a lot of women these days are raised in masculine character. So I'll tell you that get very intentional about what you want in a relationship. Because trust me, like I said, your father in the past could wing it. Because back then, the culture was already shaped for them to become wives. The culture was already shaped for you as a man to build character. The culture was shaped for the women back then. The culture was shaped for everybody already, but now, the internet has come with some work ideas. And now things now look very confusing. Again, I would say health, right? Back in the days, the default lifestyle was healthy already. You ate clean food, right? Everybody walked around. These days, we sit down a lot. We sit down for what? More than half the day. Most guys barely work out. So the things as a man, you can't keep falling for the ideas of your father and think it's going to work for you now. You have to be able to sit down and start thinking for yourself. So that's ultimately the biggest trap. Not realizing that your parents did not have shit figured out. And you yourself now have shit figured out for yourself. And another trap I think a lot of guys fall into is listening to their parents' advice. If your parents were not successful, right, their advice may never help you because they are speaking from what worked in the past, right? So you as a man, you need to think, if you want to be successful, get the advice of people who are already successful. So I just listed out a couple of traps, right? And the root cause. The root cause is guys today are not thinking, and guys today don't have goals. If you are thinking and you have goals, it will be very easy for you to avoid these traps, right? It is go to school and be successful. It's a lie. These days, guys now are having skills, right? And they are becoming successful. Guys are having skills. Guys are freelancing. Guys are offering services, and they are doing well. Speaking of relationships, guys now know what they want. They know where to go to get it. And by the way, back in the days, right, to get a woman was through your community. But now there are multiple ways to get women. Cold approach, and get a new place, cold approach women. You can use dating apps. You can use social media. But these two, they have problems because they cause you to believe that women are in abundance. But in reality, good women are very few. The hoes are plenty. Then what does that talk about? Health, right? Health. You have to be very intentional. That is, eat clean, go to the gym. What else can I say about your health? Eat clean, go to the gym, rest well. Manage your stress. And I think by the way, speaking of eating clean, we're not living in a world of misinformation where just to say you want to eat clean, people laugh at you and call you a dietitian or you're going on a diet. It's quite crazy, but...
Yeah, I was thinking about when you said, good women are not in abundance. Yeah, I think...
Sorry, in context, as much as the host.
Yeah, I get what you mean. But I think that it's also, directly proportional to the kind of person you are inside.
100%.
The guys, as much as you have to write down what you want
as a man, you have to be compatible with what you want.
Yeah, you have to be compatible.
So I can't say I want a woman who is family oriented, and I am not family oriented. It does not make any sense. I can't say I want a woman who is. By the way, I can't be submissive now. But I can't say I want a feminine woman and I'm not masculine because a lot of guys miss that context. Now, because I wrote feminine on that paper does not mean I should be feminine, but I should be compatible with what a feminine woman wants.
You know, there's a masculine way to submit. It's not. It's because you see.
Guys, let's not do that. The whole point is that I use the word compatible.
Yeah.
I didn't say equal.
Yeah.
Compatible. I know where you're going to, but again, what I'm saying and what people are hearing can be two different things. Which is why I'm trying my possible best to be careful with the words that I use. So if you have what you want in a woman, right? Ask yourself, am I compatible? Does this person that has this trait want me, right? So health conscious, I take my health very, very serious. Family oriented, I am family oriented. Maybe not like the default family oriented, but I believe I'm family oriented. Then the third aspect is what? Feminine, right? And I believe I'm masculine to a degree, right? I don't know how else one can be more masculine, but I'm masculine. So I believe I'm compatible.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask, what is your definition of being family-oriented?
Sorry?
What's your definition of being family-oriented? Like, what is it that... Okay, let's start with you. What is it about you yourself that makes you think you're family-oriented?
So, I'm asking myself, right, if I want to have kids, what values do I want to instill in my kids and at what age? Have I thought about what I'll provide for them? Have I thought about what I would equip them with? For example, now, if I have boys, right, I want all my boys to be mentally strong, right? What I mean is, I'm marked mentally strong. Am I mentally strong myself? To make sure that I can make them mentally strong. Have I tried to up myself in a way that I can offer guidance to my sons? Right? Have I upped my way to... One other way I think I know I'm family oriented is I'm being specific to know that. I'm being smart enough to know that the wife I choose will be the first teacher of my kids. Right? She's the one that my kids first of all get their first basic ideas from. So am I being specific about who I'm making their mother? Again, what else? Are there values, like I said, mental toughness? I'm thinking of the right values, because the values are still at different ages, right? Am I looking for how to make them better people in society at large? That's how I see myself as family oriented. I'm thinking of the kids I want to bring. Before I bring them into this world, what do I want? In a way that I can say that, okay, yeah, I tried my best, right? I tried to instill it in them. If they want it or they don't, that's their business.
So would you say all that you want in your children is in you already?
Yeah, it's in me, I'm working towards it. Because you can't teach what you're not. You can't pass down. You can't teach what you're not. You can't pass down what you're not. It has to pass through you first. And all my boys are going to learn how to fight. Yeah.
You know.
Standard, default.
That's default.
Survival of the fittest. You can't tell me they bullied you now.
No.
You can't tell me they bullied you. You can't come across and say they bullied you.
No, I do be happy to hear that. Your son gives this guy a black eye.
Yeah, if again, good judgments, right?
Good judgment.
If my boy gives a boy a black eye, I'm more bothered about what led to the black eye. If it's my son who was the bully, I have to treat that behavior. I have to treat that behavior. If that guy was the one who instigated it, my guy gets a high five.
I know.
You're like, guy, next time, give him 2. Like, guy, next time, give him 2. So yeah, that's what I think. Traps that guys can avoid. So guys, please avoid these traps, right? Start thinking for yourself, right? We're probably waiting for exact solutions. I think that's what a lot of guys are looking for. But I think we gave some decent solutions.
Yeah,
but the ultimate thing is have a goal. But I think the main trap is the identity that most people get from their parents and from society at large. So when you were small, you could not think for yourself. So society gave you an identity, right? And the only way you can get rid of this identity is if you start setting goals, right? Because some identities, they lead to a certain kind of pain because it's not you that chose the identity. It leads to a form of discomfort, internal conflict in you, right? So as a man, your first step is to get rid of the identity. And you get rid of the identity by having goals and vision, right? Being intentional about your life, right? And before you can even set that vision, how you know that it's your vision is, does it belong to your childhood fantasy? Is it a part of it that you had to kill? And that's how you begin to know, okay, fine, I think I want to work towards this vision, right? And lo and behold, you will get there. So yeah. Identity trap, no thinking trap, no goals trap. So I believe there's no way anybody will follow the advice and then we'll still enter those traps. It's not possible.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very difficult, right? It means that you are fucking up somewhere.
What about Andrew Tate?
What do you think about Andrew Tate?
Oh, me. See, the thing is that I no longer would I say, okay, let's start with this. When Andrew Tate first got his stardom, yeah, it was that I had no filter with who Andrew Tate was. There was no filter at all. Okay. So then it was basically everything that Andrew Tate was saying was being downloaded
into your head,
into me straight.
Okay.
So then now that at this distance from that time, now it's like I have more of a filter.
All right.
With what he says. So then there are things that I have now realized that there were things that were not necessarily what was okay, but then I also realized that they were necessary to get a certain reaction from people.
So do you think Andrew Tate is a good or a bad person?
I think he's a good person.
I think okay.
But I think it's that he's a good person, but then people will always see what is good as bad when good stands against their bad, because people
I get.
So then, because people are attached to what serves them, people are attached to what they serve. So
I think personally, whenever somebody brings up Andrew Tate, my question is this: tell me one bad habit people are doing because of Andrew Tate. They mostly can say it. All they can say is they now hate women. Okay, show me one boy who has watched Andrew Tate and who now hates women. It's mostly, yeah, I can't tell, I can't show, I can't share. It's mostly hypotheticals.
So then the thing is that people don't look at the fruits. They don't look at his fruits. They just look at what he's saying and judge him based on that. They don't look at what it's causing.
What it's doing,
What it's doing,
but
actually.
When I ask, what good habits are Andrew Tate putting in boys? Now I can tell you for a fact that because of Andrew Tate, a lot of guys now are bringing up that provider energy in them. Because of Andrew Tate, people are now going and now taking up their fitness as priority. People don't realize that. Since you fight, you get to realize that. Now, Andrew Tate is a kickboxing champion.
Yeah, it was because of Andrew Tate that I partially got interested.
So that's good. No, because there's no man who knows how to fight and is stupid. It's practically impossible, because fighting makes you think quick. This guy just tilted his shoulders. He's about to do something. You have to think fast. You can't be close up and fight. It's not possible. And two, he's also good at chess. What makes you think he's stupid? So that means Andrew Tate has kind of realized that the way you get people, guys especially, to do certain things is by talking and acting a certain way, which is working, right? You just confirm that. But the problem now is that some guys it's like school, right? They taught you basic addition and subtraction, right?
And yeah, just going on with.
No, I'm going somewhere. They taught you basic addition and subtraction.
Mm-hmm.
Then in the next class, they taught you algebra. You can't say that the teacher that taught you addition and subtraction was stupid. You can't say that. Because you are past that level.
Yeah.
You can't say that. So that's for Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate is trying to wake guys up. Now, if you wake up, the question now is, what are you going to do now that you have woken up? So his goal is to wake many guys up. So guys are not like, why do you wake me up? Because a lot of guys, they like this idea of comforting lies. We live in a world of comforting lies and propaganda, right? And guys want to keep basking in that comfortable lie And that's propaganda. A typical propaganda is, as Andrew Tate broke, is that women don't love men for who they are directly, right?
Yes, for what they make them feel, like what they are to them.
Exactly. So as a man, you have to provide value for yourself. But I get the argument of most men is, I want to be seen beyond a provider, right? That's the argument for men. But regardless, you still have to provide.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't be seen beyond what is necessary. The only time that you be seen as more than a provider is when you provide first.
So that's the point. So a lot of guys are like, I want a woman to love me for who I am. So what do you mean by love you for who you are?
You can't be loved for who you are unless you meet the requirements.
So that's the point. So what even makes it worse is when women are saying, oh, just be yourself. Like, what the fuck does that mean, just be yourself? So a lot of guys mean, just be yourself means don't need to level up, just show up as you are. You as a guy, you must be very stupid if you believe that statement. When the girl says, just be as you are, she's probably thinking, if this guy's a loser, let me know quick. Let me know whether I should cut him off or not. So Andrew Tate, from what I'm seeing, right, is regardless, one, is of a greater good. Two, the way, if you listen to Andrew Tate's clips that did not go viral, it makes a lot of sense. The ones that go viral are the ones where he's saying things that are shocking. Also, whenever people don't like Andrew Tate, I always ask, what did he say that is a lie? So it's mostly about, this is where I feel like, if I see a guy who hates Andrew Tate, I cannot answer this question, automatically I'll say you're a bitch. It's this. Tell me one thing that Andrew Tate said that is a lie, right? Or that corrupts society. No, don't tell me, oh, he's a bad person. No. Tell me what he said that is a lie. Because a broke clock can be right twice in a day, right? So tell me what he said that is a lie. It's mostly, no, Andrew Tate is a bad person. So I figured that people want to kill the messenger. Not the message.
Yeah.
They don't want to debate the message. They don't want to debate the point. And I figured that Andrew Tate is also, again, Andrew Tate is also a, what do you call it? He's also a, what's that word? He's a consequence of what the feminist movement has been doing to guys. Guys, for over a decade now, this idea of toxic masculinity has been an argument for a while, where you try to suppress the masculine energy in boys, right? So they suppress it in boys, and Andrew Tate is like, no. For you to wake up that boy, you have to say things that are very drastic. You have to appeal to his vanity state. So Andrew Tate did what he had to do to get his message out there.
I know, because then it's like, I was thinking about something, that the way our society is structured, you know, I always say this thing that it's like everything was made to please women. Now,
these days,
like the way,
we're in a Ghana-centric world.
If you look at the way men make content, it's always, learn how to cook so that you would make dinner for your wife. Why? But then you get, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to do those kind of things.
To show those gestures,
yeah, but then when you make everything about for the purpose of a woman, it's bad, because then when a boy is born, he is inside his house, and whenever his mom is angry, because she's the mom that kind of throws a tantrum, he has to adjust.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Because he has to please a woman.
Exactly.
He's in class. Most teachers are women.
Injecting feminine ideas.
No, it's not even injecting feminine ideas. It's that he has to tailor himself so that he satisfies a woman.
Okay. He panders to the female narrative.
Yes. Right. So then all through, I think that's why I think the system is broken for what men need now. It used to work before, because it used to work before because the father figures were
they could get
present.
Away with it.
Yeah, because the father figures were strongly present. But then now it's like, at every stage in a man's life now, is like he's always suited to please a woman. So then that's the main problem with men these days now, that you see a man giving a woman that is disrespecting him money, like the video I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
So then, because he's used to always having to please a woman, because he always had to pander to his teacher. He always had to make sure his teacher was happy, that she didn't rebuke him, that she didn't throw tantrums at him. So it translates to everything that is now. So yeah.
So no, I get it. So I get 100%. We now live in a world where men, for the longest right now, like the men these days, are so weak because they've pushed down female narratives. They've forced female narratives down their heads. I was there at some point, and I'm grateful that I think I kind of woke up, right? And I think maybe that's why God made me a stupid child when I was small, because every time I figured that yeah, I had uncles. Sorry, I think what's it? I had uncles that were like, no, so my uncles were like they kept me in check, right, for not doing a lot of stupid shit. So for most guys, or for the feminist movement, they've been suppressing the male energy, the male vibe for years, right? And it's damaging self-esteem in men. But one thing that, for example, now is they've called masculinity toxic, right? By pairing toxic and masculinity together. At first, when that word first of all came out and went mainstream, the whole idea was there were traits in men that all of us can agree are toxic. A typical example is hyper competition, right? Where people believe that if I'm competing with you, it's cutthroat. I should compete with you in business and kill your business. There's healthy competition where we are both, it forces us to innovate and it's good. And there's hyper competition where my goal is not to get better. My goal is to end you. Now that we can agree is toxic. All of a sudden, when men began to take up, actually like go against this actual toxic traits, all of a sudden they blurred the lines between toxic and healthy masculinity, right? So healthy masculinity says, okay, you have to be competitive, so it forces you to grow. Toxic masculinity says you have to kill the competition if you want to grow. Healthy masculinity says you need to learn how to be aggressive because you need aggression when you want to protect people, law enforcement and the rest. Toxic masculinity says aggression is for violence, so let's cause violence. So they blur those lines. So guess what? So the boy that keeps hearing that aggression, competition, what else? Aggression, competition. I'm thinking of what else again they call toxic. Confidence. Again, healthy masculinity is confidence. Toxic is cockiness, arrogance. So now he's not hearing that confident men are toxic. He's like, I mind you, he's small. He can't think for himself. His mom is saying it. His female teachers are saying it. And thanks to the fact that one, men these days have been slowly, they've been pushed out of the home. They never see that part though. People think men just left the house. No. Most of our fathers began to leave the house because whether like it or not, things became more expensive. They have to go and provide. We have been pandering towards female narrative where happy wife, happy life.
That's basically what I'm saying.
For a period, and we figured that no, that's complete BS. If everybody is happy and she's not happy, auntie, you go do all right though. You'll be fine. But why can't everybody be happy? Why is it hard that must be happy? Because that's even the different conversation for another yourself. So it's fathers to an extent have been pushed out, right, and everything. So the boy is just getting a narrative that is fucking up his mind. So now Andrew Tate is like, guy, wake up. That's like Morpheus telling you, wake up, right? You can't. You're a man. You're supposed to be respected. All those ideas they put into your head are lies. So guy, wake up. So a lot of guys now are waking up. So I think Andrew Tate to be more of a good force, right? Because there is a statement now that everybody says, right? The road to hell is paved with good intentions. The road to heaven is paved with what?
Actually, it's not.
To enrich his pocket. It's bad intentions.
What is it?
Andrew Tate is trying to get rich now. You think he's doing it for the sake of just doing it? So that's what I mean by bad intentions. I don't mean like he wants to like kill you, but that saying just makes me laugh, right? It's like, yeah, Andrew Tate wants to get rich, and he's getting rich by making people up. So I believe that in the very end, he's doing good. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
People might call him he's a grifter. He does what he needs to do to get the job done. So is he benefiting him? Absolutely. He's making millions of dollars. But regardless, guys are still getting better. Guys are leveling up.
Yeah, but one thing I fear that I'm not scared of anything, but one thing I was cautious of was the fact that it might get to a point where the money might become the point. You know where I said that Grace loves law, that when the measurement of success becomes the goal, that the measurement becomes obsolete. Yeah, so then he might start seeing money as the
but
point.
the whole point is that if that's the case, then at some point, who's going to lose out? But the whole point is that is he a good or a bad impact? Is the main thing.
Yeah, he's a good impact. No, what I'm saying was that. That's why I said.
I guess so that will be his business and his consequences if that is the case, because in the very end, we all reap what we sow.
Yeah.
And so whenever I see people who are angry at agitate, my question now is, be specific. Why exactly are you angry at agitate? It's mostly some emotional reasons, but I mean, the game is the game.
That's why I said, I think he has gotten to the point where he has to realize that there's transformation above.
No, he'll figure it out. He'll figure it out. Figure it out. So, and the day he just know what he's doing, I believe that he's a very smart guy. A very, 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 very smart guy. He does what he needs to get the job done. So, anything on agitate?
Yeah.
All right.
Just that, you changed my whole life, yeah. So,
yeah, it's helping guys to grow.
Or what do you think that we should? Because I think this is something that we should be doing when we're calm and we're not rushing through it.
Okay, is that the camera is already rolling, bro? Let's just.
Okay, let's just.
But by the way, this podcast doesn't have to be so perfect, so polished, right?
Yeah, I know.
It has to be decent.
I know.
So Ross, we can touch on it and then talk about. So guys, we're about to talk about chasing women, right? And what guys get wrong about chasing women. Guys miss the point about chasing women, right? It's simple. Life is simple when it comes to women as a man. Attract as many women as you can. Pick the one that you want based on what you have already attracted. If you have attracted babes that you don't want, what that means is that you are doing something, your attraction signals are wrong. It's that simple. And that's why I tell men that as a man, you have to become well-rounded. When you're well-rounded and you have a vision you're working towards, right? It's very, very impossible for you to attract the wrong woman. I mean, to never attract the right woman. It's virtually impossible. What that means is that you're probably working with a lie in your head. So I see a lot of guys who want to get married to wife materials. But I'm like, you're still in your 20s, you're still having all these childish behaviors. Where do you want the wife material to enter?
It's not possible.
It's not possible. Yeah, that's the harsh truth. And then you're my guy, right? You're my student. I'll tell you the truth. You cannot have that. You cannot have that wife material and still thinking like a small boy. You still want to go out there and do what small boys are doing, right? Whatever language you're doing. Your wife material, right, will come to you as you are building yourself or when you build yourself. Even at the moment, as you're thinking like a small boy, you will see a wife material and she will walk past you.
It's that I think that you want wife material, but what are you going to do with the material? Are you going to, if I look at it like that,
yeah, exactly.
What are you going to do? Are you going to rubbish it? And God is not going to give you something that you're going to rubbish.
Exactly. I think I like that approach. I think I like that. So as a guy, chasing women is a stupid thing to do. You're supposed to attract women. While you're attracting women, you already know what you want based on the ones you are attracting.
Yeah.
If you have attracted a lot of women, right, but you're saying very few of your spec, it could be that your, what's that word? It could be that your expectations or your choices are too high, too ridiculous. You need to lower the standards just a little bit, right? But if you know that if you know that you have lowered the standards and you're still not getting them, it means that you are doing something wrong. You could even be looking in the wrong location, right? Yeah. A typical example is somebody who wants, not every guy wants to get married to a wife material, don't get me wrong. So there are three kinds of women. There's a wife and a mistress. Some guys like that mistress, right? What that means is she has probably had her whole phase, and now she has the quality of both hoe and wife material.
But I think what you mean is she's the hoe for one person.
She has been a hoe for people before.
Yeah,
but now she's a hoe for one person. Some guys can't do that. Some guys won't that.
No, but then there are some that they've never. I don't know. Yeah, there are some. I've met. I know some.
that she's a hoe.
Mm-hmm.
She that she's a hoe.
Mm-hmm.
Then where she get the experience from?
I have that. No, seriously, that's the
It
thing.
came
Could be that.
divine.
It could be that. I think, and now that I think about it, the person I know that is like that, I think they got it from their mom.
Yeah, actually, some
So-
moms teach their daughters those things. Some moms teach their daughters about certain sexual practices. They groom them at a very young age. I've had girls tell me about that.
So then it's like teach your child in the way that you should go, and they won't depart from it.
So are you say, hold on. You're saying that her mom taught her and she was never a hoe. Mind
Yeah.
you, these are rare occasions. Is it possible? Absolutely. I've seen a girl that, see, if you understand female nature and you have girls around you that are free, they'll tell you almost anything.
Yeah.
So yes, this particular. So no, she's not a hoe because she has to vet you, all right? I think hoes have no standards, or they have very little standards. I'm not going to talk about her because to be very honest, I just felt like if she was much younger, I'd have considered it. But I know that where her cannot work, so we kind of like ended it on good grounds. So yeah, she made me realize that her grandmom was the one who taught her, not her mom in this context, because her mom had to, for some reasons, she was her grandmom was more. She lived with her grandmom more than her mom.
Yeah, this thing just reminded me. I've been wanting. That's one of the things I wanted to talk. I've been wanting to talk about, how the family background affects people. Like, because the family is the first thing that you encounter.
The first environment.
Yeah, it's the first thing that shapes you. It's what shapes you for the rest of your life, and it's based on your family that you make
family
decisions
dynamics. Yeah.
for the rest of your life. It's based on your family that you would raise your own family. So it's something that we should talk about.
But one thing people have to realize is you really can't control your family dynamics.
Yeah, you can't, but you can.
You can only become aware.
Yeah.
And say, okay, my family dynamics caused this, and because it caused this,
I'll do this. To change the
this
effect.
is what, yes, exactly. This is what it has caused. Can I work with it? A typical example is, I recently came across a concept called middle child syndrome, where the middle kids are like, they've been the most depressed for the longest, and gets to a point where they become independent. Some of them, some middle childs become very depressed, bitter at the whole world, angry at people, while some middle childs become very, very independent. They don't really need that much attention. When shit hits the fan, they're there. They're literally the backbone of the family, right? And they don't really do it for accolades. So, it's recent times I discovered it. So, what the issue now is that I enjoy being by myself, right? I have guys that go and hang out with, right? But some days they may call me and say, let's go and hang out. I also look at it and say, this is my bed. I think my bed is cheaper, right? I think I was out last week with Pen. You know Pen now?
Who's Pen?
Oh, you know my Pen, Ibrahim.
Oh.
As in, the way the workout went was funny. He said, let's go and eat. Let's go and eat food. What should we eat? Okay, Greek yogurt and suya. As we're going, you know what? Let's go to Unilag. We're going there. Oh, we have this guy from Unilag that we know is our guy. Let's go to Unilag. Let's meet him. He was in the listening party of his own friend. And before you know it, we had to go and follow the guy to go and perform at a party, and we came back home by 5 a.m. How the fuck does for food?
Suya and Greek yogurt.
If you had told me, let's go out till 4 a.m. the next day, I would agree. But like, from just Greek yogurt and suya, we landed in Unilag. We landed in Yaba for a listening party. Before you know it, we had VI for another party. So regardless, so personally, it made me a very reserved person. So sometimes, I would say these days now, I ask myself, if I keep staying reserved, will it help me do what I want to achieve in this life? Not really. It won't. So I now realize that I can't use that middle child as an excuse to not do what I want to do. So the same way, people have different family dynamics. the firstborn in the family doesn't have the same dynamic as me, right? But I believe that we're all given our dynamics for a reason. So I figured, okay, this is it, right? And he gave me some strength. And he gave me some strength. He gave me some weaknesses. Now I'm asking myself, what should I do? Will these weaknesses serve me? If they don't serve me, then I have to do something about it. That's why I feel like a lot of guys, you can't use your circumstances. So that's why you're a man, right? You intentionally build yourself. As a man, you have to live with intentions in every area of your life. So if you know that this thing is a problem with you, fix it. If it can't be fixed, then find a way of dealing with it, right? And that's why, thanks to judo, the way of fighting judo has taught me a lot of things, right? Don't struggle with it. If you can't fix it, find a way around it, and you'll be good, right? Sometimes just reframing your problem says a lot, right? And for a guy, right, if you have a problem, and because women don't like men that have stupid problems, so if you have problems, look for a way that you can either fix it or reframe it, right? Because I remember when I was talking to a girl, right? Again, to be very frank, even me personally, meeting new girls, sometimes it takes extra effort. So whenever girls are kind of like feeling too proud, you have automatically pressed the delete button in my head. I'm sorry, but and she's like, why are you a very reserved person? My answer was I was about to spill out was, man, I don't know, I don't really like people that much. I was like, no. I have to reframe it and be like, I'm very careful with the people I hang around with. Yeah. And that just changed the whole dynamic. The respect went up by just reframing it. So, but then again, like I said, I know that I need to adjust. I won't lie to myself and say, oh, I'm perfect like that. Nope. For me to get my message out there, I have to go out there, I have to network. So when I'm waking up, networking with people, commenting online, creating content, it's all helping me. I can't just say, oh, I'm an introvert. So because I'm an introvert, I shouldn't create content, I shouldn't speak, right? Well, that's why for those who are watching, I've been creating content for the last 200 days, back to back, non-stop. So yeah, you can't use that as an excuse of family dynamics. That's why I really don't like speaking about men's problems, because I'm like, yeah, I may bring the problem to you and tell you why the problem is there. But most importantly, we have to discuss a solution. And that's the beautiful thing about being a man. Being a man, you are born with problems. And the beautiful thing is that you get pride, you become more confident when you solve those problems. Yeah. If you literally hear, and this is not a way of adding to gender war, you will see a lot of the times women will say, oh, that's the way I am, accept me for who I am. To be very frank, most women will see guys who accept them for who they are. And I won't say don't do that, because guys are fucked up, right? But as a guy, nobody will accept you for who you are. You have to have that you have to have that intention to fix yourself. So yeah, that's what I have to say to guys. Your family background, fuck it. Have a vision for yourself. And which is even self-improvement. Have a vision for yourself and solve the problems that will stop you from getting there, right? For me, getting the message out there means that I have to create content. For me, getting the message out there means that I have to be open. If you probably hear my speech, sometimes I speak very, very fast. Some days I speak with a very, very low tone. I'm still working on that. And again, this is me telling you that I can't just say, oh, because of I have to talk very fast, it means that. No. It means that I'm handicapped. Yeah. No, I have to be intentional to fix that thing. That is why I speak a lot these days, right? One more thing, speaking of speaking a lot, I now speak a lot intentionally so that it helps my speech. So people are taking courses, how to speak. Mm-hmm. Okay, open your mouth and speak.
Yeah, and you realize your mistakes.
You realize your mistakes, right? And you will fix them. Because I see a lot of people trying to learn. One trick to learning anything in life is
execute.
Start first. When you start, you will discover problems fast. Guess what? You begin to now solve those problems as they come to you.
And then you finish. By the time the person is deliberating on, oh, how do we do this? How do this? By that time, you've already started, made like 500 mistakes. Fixed all of them.
It's the same. It's the same thing. Even with women, right? You do a better job, right? Failing at women, right? Getting rejection than watching 100 YouTube videos. You do a better job at getting rejected by women. And I said this, that even till this day, I still get rejected by women. Like, I don't know who doesn't get rejected. I don't know anyone. But to me, that idea that, okay, I was rejected, but move on. Like, the game is the game, right? Sometimes when it gets to me, yes, but don't worry. That shit is like good fuel as a man is like, don't worry, I'll show you in the next 5 years. But obviously, to be very frank, that can be your driving factor as a man. The fact that a babe rejected you. That was a joke. It can be a driving factor though. But you shouldn't make it a bad thing. Because sometimes you've got to realize that probably she rejected you because some people were not compatible. You might be compatible with like the outside shell, but like the inner shell, she's like, sometimes she could just reject you because she could be going through a rough time. So
she could be rejecting you because she sees you're a good person and she doesn't want to mess you up.
Bro, that's very valid. That is very, very valid. But a lot of guys take it too serious. You're like, why did she reject me? I thought she said she was good, guys. Well, at the current phase of her life right now, right, she's holding around, so she's probably in her whole phase. So she wants to like express the whole phase, and she doesn't like damage you. Then maybe when she's not done, and hopefully you might be an ignorant man who will ignore her past, very stupid thing to do, and now forgive her for everything, which is very stupid again. I think
it might work for people sometimes.
It's got the polish those people.
Sometimes you can try and find out.
Yeah, right now. So, okay, all right, brothers. Thanks very much. If you stay to the very end of this podcast, I'll tell you for a fact that there's no way you cannot hear this podcast and not get valuable insights. Yeah. It's not just possible. It's not just possible. And that's the way the podcast are. So, guys, if you stay this far, it's obvious that you're enjoying the movement where we're telling guys to please wake up. The truth is bitter, but the truth will break you first, but the truth will build you stronger later. If you stay this long, thank you very much. I'd like you to please go ahead. Let me know in the comment section what ideas in this video resonated with you, right? And let's form together. Let's come together to form this brotherhood. Talk to you soon, and bye for now, brothers. Time to go run for boxing. This guy also finished me.